Where are the low-value men?
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. You can believe that. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
From the headlines to the whispers dark. Low value mail, we'll get them on. Low value mail at 9 o'clock. We're truth and fiction, take a walk.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Our stories are.
Welcome back, everybody, to an all-new episode of Low Value Mail on this Monday, May 25th, 2026, the year of our Lord. Welcome back. Sorry, I just adjust something there quickly. Happy Memorial Day, everyone, to those of you that celebrate. Some of you probably don't celebrate. Some of you, dare I say it, may be Canadian. I want to give a shout out to Cosmo and recent sign up Incel Media for being part of the $25 tier over on Patreon. There's two of you. Shout out to everyone who supports the show, of course, whether it's monetarily or just with vibes, because I don't really get tagged a lot in people actually sharing clips from the show. So vibes are good too. As always, if you support the show, there's a priority Patreon number for US and Canada, because some Canadians still have to pay long distance to call a United States local number, believe it or not. And it just gives you a better chance to get through. I see someone says bring back the bathhouse. No. How does that sound? Not at this moment. Maybe somewhere down the line, it's possible, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Are you guys eating hot dogs? This is like, I can't believe I've gone. I may leave after the show tonight and go eat a hot dog just because it's Memorial Day, and that's what else do? You remember the veterans and eat as many nitrate-dense foods as possible. And yes, I'm sure some of you are like, why are you doing a show on Memorial Day? I mean, you're watching. I'm here. Also felt bad I missed a couple episodes. Maybe in another scenario, I would have not. But now I am. Howling Labubu dropped an American flag. USA #1, baby. Also, it's the 6-year anniversary of George Floyd's demise. If you guys remember that guy, good old George Floyd. It's the 6-year anniversary. Man, what a crazy time that was, huh? Probably never see anything like that for the rest of our lives. I mean, just what craziness that was. One of my favorite things, I think I've said this before, but this was right around the time of, actually, you know what? No, this is pre-George Floyd. No, maybe it was around the same time, but I was just talking about this with somebody the other day, was when COVID, because this is, height of COVID, George Floyd, and then this like fringe Black Panther party didn't like the way that China was treating, like, I guess, African migrants. So then in Washington, D.C., this fringe, like, there's like the Black Panther Party, and then there's like, the more fringe ones. I don't know how they divide themselves, but they went and, because of the conduct of the Chinese government, went and protested a Chinese restaurant in Washington, D.C. Literally just picked out any random Chinese restaurant, and they're like, we are going to protest this Chinese restaurant due to the treatment of Africans in China. What a crazy time it was, huh? I mean, they literally, I just tweeted this, but because of George Floyd, the Cleveland Indians and the Washington Redskins had to change their name. What does that have to do with black people? I mean, black people barely play baseball. I know a lot of them are in the NFL, but baseball? Anyways, let's talk about Hasan Piker. I don't even have a lot to say. To be honest, I was kind of digging through the news stories. And, sometimes the show, it's glaring what the topic is going to be. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes I got to kind of, scrape the barrel, as they say, to find something to talk about. It's not always so easy. Sometimes there's just like, what am I going to talk about? The Iran war for the 50th time? I don't think people care. Maybe they should care. I don't think they do. But let's talk about Hasan Piker. Then I'm going to open the phone lines. Once I do, you can tell me, was Derek Chauvin guilty or innocent? Should Hasan Piker go to jail or not? So for those of you who, I guess all of you probably know Hasan Piker. If you don't know, he's this leftist streamer, streams on Twitch. He's like a democratic socialist, real communist sympathizer, which in and of itself in this country is not a crime. It's stupid, not a crime. Over the weekend, the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control sent administrative subpoenas to Piker and leftist Code Pink co-founder Medea Benjamin. It's a white Medea, by the way. Is it a white Medea? I think it's a white Medea, that's pretty rare. Yeah, it's a white Medea. I hear Medea, I go black. But that's probably Tyler Perry's fault. Medea Benjamin to get documents about the financial, logistical, and communications details of their March trip to Cuba in possible violation of laws and regulations about doing business with the government of Cuba. So we're going to be talking about Cuba probably, I would think, over the next few months. Seems likely. Seems like that's the next shoe to drop. Now, again, so if you recall, a bunch of Americans went to Cuba for humanitarian purposes in March following the arrest of Nicolas Maduro and the country basically being shut off from importing oil. So if you didn't know, and again, I didn't know, I kind of learned these things alongside everybody else, but Cuba made a deal. I guess this is Cuba's greatest natural resource was mercenaries and doctors. I never knew this is how Cuba operated, but they do. They basically trade their doctors like fucking athletes, like baseball players. They trade them all over the world to different countries. They go, hey, we have good doctors. We have lots of doctors. They send them away and they get stuff in return. So Venezuela, they were like, here's some doctors, here's some mercenaries. Those mercenaries, got killed instantly when they got discombobulated, if you recall. But in exchange, Venezuela, an oil producing country, was like, here's some oil. Cuba can generate oil, but I don't even think they generate 1/10 of their daily requirements, right? And it is bad in Cuba right now. Regardless of what you think, really, it's not good. They have some people say like in certain areas outside of Havana, it's like 22-hour blackouts a day, and you're probably thinking, well, that sounds fun. Except it's hot, and I think that applies to like kind of everywhere. So it's like, hospitals and stuff. Not ideal if you're Cuban. Also, shouldn't be a communist, I guess. I don't know. But so Piker, he hasn't been arrested. I know some people are like, I know a lot of you are probably wanting him to go to jail, which I think is unlikely. But he hasn't been arrested. The Treasury Department is just gathering documents related to this trip because, while they did hand out, some food, things like that, they go, oh, these are like humanitarian stuff. They gave solar panels, which now becomes like this weird in-between thing because Cuba is considered like, an American enemy, essentially. And so you're kind of supplying the enemy with goods, which, while maybe stupid, it is against the law of the land. So, in my opinion, worst case, if they take this all the way, if they really, and again, he hasn't been charged with anything, but if they take this all the way, he's probably facing some fines. I doubt he gets any jail time. He's going to milk this and act like he's facing jail, though. I guarantee you, what a godsend. If someone who's like a streamer, I guess I would consider myself also a streamer, although I still, in my mind, feel like I'm doing a radio show. I guess I'm a live streamer because there's, the chat and all that stuff. But I do consider myself in my mind a radio show host. But this is a stream. Anyways, man, this kind of publicity, how many people are watching right now on this Memorial Day? 120. Not great. Not great. But again, some people have families. I didn't expect this to be, getting everybody that we normally get. If I was getting subpoenaed by the federal government right now, I'd probably have 1,000 people watching right now. Be going gangbusters. Now, again, he's not facing jail. He will become more popular because of this. Not less, absolutely. Also, he gets to pretend like his First Amendment rights are being violated, which, because now he's essentially saying, I talk shit about Israel. This is why they're coming after me. It's because of my shit talking about Israel. When I understand what he's saying, but it seems more like, the United States has kind of set their sights on Cuba right now. They obviously don't like him. To make this about Israel, kind of convenient. But again, worst case scenario, he's going to pay some fines, which for him, completely worth it. Even if he gets $1 million in fines, totally worth it. Probably won't even have to pay them. Probably going to be covered by the convoy financier Neville Roy Singham, who is an American billionaire living in China for, I believe, the last 15 years, who funds a lot of left-wing causes. I don't know if you guys know who this guy, Neville Roy Singham, is. He's like a hardcore socialist, Maoist, real communist sympathizer. He loves this shit so much. A lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. This guy moved to China, and he's not Chinese. He's some kind of swarthy, and he loves it there. He loves China. He loves everything about the whole deal. I mean, it doesn't hurt that he's literally a billionaire, started some software company in the 80s. But he's the guy who, whenever they talk about these pro-Palestine things, all these giant rallies and the no kings, all that stuff. And they're like, where do they get the financing from this from? It's basically him and George Soros. But I think and you know what? If I had $1 billion, I can't, once you can't, you can buy anything you want. What's kind of the next, that would be honestly kind of fun to just be like, I can just really just sow discord. I can just cause so much shit by just firing all these people up, giving them a little bit of money and just getting them out there, Also, Nick Shirley also went to Cuba because a lot of people are saying with Hasan Piker, they're like, he stayed at this hotel and it wasn't on the approved list of hotels. And I went and looked at I've actually stayed at one of the hotels in Havana that legally Americans cannot stay at. Apparently you're funding terrorism. I didn't know. I was living in Canada at the time. They don't really do that there. But he didn't stay. He actually stayed at because he was trying to be like, I was forced to stay at a 5-star hotel. No, you were not forced to. There's a little shitty, you can rent rooms in people's homes, and there's these kind of makeshift hotels, I guess. Many that are not sanctioned, that are not run by the Cuban government. He was just like, hey, they made me stay at a 5-star hotel. They did not. But he didn't stay at a sanctioned hotel. Nick Shirley, on the other hand, did go to Cuba, and he did stay at a hotel on the restricted list. I'm sure he'll be fine, though. I'm sure there'll be no issue for that. But again, I think they're more going after him for giving supplies and stuff. They are. They're not going after him for the hotel. They're just like, hey, he gave supplies and solar panels to an enemy of the United States who we're soon to be at war with. Make no mistake about that. This is definitely a stupid move by this administration. I will say that. I don't, they can do all the Cuba stuff they want. You want to take over Cuba? Fine, go ahead. I mean, go nuts. Dragging Hasan Piker into this is just, you're just going to make him even bigger. If you put him in jail, I mean, they're not going to put him in jail. It doesn't seem like, it seems so rare that you could go to jail and not for stuff he did. So they're not going to put him in jail. They're just going to make him bigger. It's all very stupid. Again, we all know this is, if you do this stuff, if the current administration does this stuff to left-wing streamers, then once the Democrats get in, they're going to do similar things to right-wing streamers. Now, you could say, well, they were going to do this stuff anyways once they get back in power, which may be true. That may be entirely true, at which point, I guess this administration is like, well, they're going to do it anyways, so we're going to do it too. But it doesn't get us off this path we're on of this tit for tat thing where we just like, how does this ever end? Is this just nonstop? Maybe it is. I don't know. And again, probably a war with Cuba coming up. I don't know if it's going to be a war. Apparently I saw something where they had like 300 drones that were ready to what? You're going to strike Miami? You're going to go kill a bunch of other Cubans? Now, I think from what I understand, because Cuba has completely run out of oil. They have no oil left whatsoever. They had some shipment from Russia. They're blockaded. They got one shipment from Russia maybe like 3 weeks ago. It's all gone. Pretty regular blackouts everywhere. I guess the United States government is hoping that the Cuban people revolt and just overturn the government. That's not going to happen. Unlikely. Not with such a vicious regime there. I remember when I stayed in Havana, we were staying at this hotel. This is probably like almost 15 years ago now. And I was talking to this French Canadian guy who lived in Havana at least like half. I don't know if half the year probably. He was like a snowbird, but he went to Havana. And he was telling me, he's like, man, the police here are so fucking brutal if you're Cuban. Like there was this kid who I guess snatched a tourist chain. And tourism is like the lifeblood there. It's over at the moment. There is no tourism. But that's like almost the lifeblood of the Cuban economy. That and sugar. And this kid snatched some like tourist just gold chain. Literally, he's like, the police beat the shit out of him. And then he got on top of that, I believe, 10 years in jail. So they're pretty aggressive there. They don't want to fuck with the moneymaker. Also interesting of note, you don't ever see any Cubans protesting against the U.S. government about any of this stuff, which is quite telling. You'd never see that, right? There was a protest in Boston yesterday that I randomly came across because Raul Castro, former president of Cuba and Fidel Castro's brother, is 94 years old. He was just indicted on murder charges stemming from a 1996 killing of 4 Americans. Their plane was shot down or some shit. And I guess this is all part of a larger effort to, just basically end Cuba as we know it. It's all just old white people. Like, I get it, it's Boston, but like, it's literally all just old white people, 0 Cubans. I mean, the pro-Palestine protests have no problem gathering quite a, diverse crowd of people that hate America, right? If there was one thread among the pro-Palestine protests, you'd be like, these people, besides them hating Israel, is that they also hate America, right? But I think the problem with the pro-Cuba protests is that Cubans actually love America and hate Cuba. I actually think in terms of any society that America could just absorb and add to the pile of people here, Cuba is probably pretty good. 10 million people, pretty well educated, and they all fucking love America. At least most of them. I can't speak for every one of them, but they love America. Like they love America like you folks barbecuing today. That kind of love for America. So, anyways, pretty interesting. Iron Man Middle Bill says, fuck Floyd and hot dogs. Hot dogs? God bless America. As far as I understand, America is hot dogs, and hot dogs is America. So, and Drew Huntley says, justice for Kaya Dog. What happened to Kaya Dog? These dogs are getting in all sorts of trouble. All right. Let's open the phone lines. That's kind of all. I didn't have much for today. There's just it's a holiday, okay? There's not a whole lot going on right now. Looks like we have a peace deal in Iran, which is, who knows? I don't know. I can't talk about this fucking every week. All right, the phone lines are open. 1-347-391-6995. We have Gerard on the phone lines. He's back in action. Call in. The mustache says, I'm pro-Palestine. I hate Israel and love America. Okay, there you go. And that's Jared, everybody. Jared, I would go as so far to say that you don't go to pro-Palestine rallies, though. And I honestly think you're probably pro-Palestine because you hate Israel, and not the other way around. I think it's more like you hate Israel, therefore you're pro-Palestine. I don't think you're independently pro-Palestine. And maybe those two things can't be independent. I don't know. Never thought about it. Again, if you want to join, before I take your calls, of which there are currently 0 of you calling in. It's a holiday. Guys, it's a holiday. I don't even know what to expect. Maybe I should have done this tomorrow night. But I didn't. But before I get to your calls, if there are any, you can join the list of very important scrotes, aka the scrote wall of fame that you see at the start of the show. It's you can join here or on Patreon, $10 tier, and if you're already a member, you can upgrade. And people have been doing that, which is cool. I appreciate it. And if you don't have any money, I know things are tight. Inflation is brutal. I saw something about inflation. I mean, I think we all know inflation's bad. Obviously, the gas prices are high. But like, man, I just think about when I moved to New York, like how much cheaper it was to live here 6.5 years ago than it is right now. Substantially cheaper. Just like certain things, just like little items you would buy. And you go, this is so much more expensive. But I think the price of tomatoes is up. I don't know if you guys eat a lot of tomatoes. 40% in a year. It's unsustainable tomato prices. Like if you guys were like, I mean, we're all chumps. I don't know how many of you guys like have any investments or whatever, but probably all day like reading about stuff. You could have just bought tomatoes, not like literal bushels of tomatoes. They perish, but could have bought tomato future contracts. Been rolling in it. Absolutely. It's like NVIDIA. But anyways, you can support the show. Just like the stream. You can share with a friend. Leave a comment. Or if you are a Spotify listener, give us a follow. Someone asked about the bathhouse. It's over. And see me on tour. I've got a bunch of shows coming up. Brooklyn, Stamford, Atlanta, Cleveland, Portland, Maine, Tacoma, Washington, Spokane, Washington, Atlantic City. You can get tickets at dannycomedy.com or punchup.live/DannyPaulschuck. So you can check that out. All right, let's go. And yeah, the phone lines are open. I don't know. This might be a short show tonight. I don't know. I've never had to encounter what I do. Oh no, now there's 200 of you watching. So all right, well we'll be fine for calls. I'm just waiting for Gerard to queue one up. All right, let's go to the first call of the evening. Let's see how this works out. Ask to unmute. And now we wait. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Danny boy, it's Aaron in Maryland.
Aaron from Maryland. What's happening?
Hey, it's going all right, man. Actually, long time listener. Been listening basically since you went on the Boys Cast.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I've been listening for a long time.
How's your Memorial Day going?
Oh, it was pretty good Memorial Day. I had a kind of crazy week. I have one of my best friends actually growing up. Went to high school with him. We ran cross country together. He was a cop. And about a year ago, he got into this like crazy situation where he shot at someone who turned out to be unarmed.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Were
so
they
all
of the
week
same
I was
race
up-
of him?
No, unfortunately.
Oof,
It
oof.
was not. Yeah. It was not racially motivated.
I know.
The guy had, I don't know. He was probably high, but we'll never know that for sure. But he was like driving or taking his kids to school, and he like dropped a hat on the hot side of the highway. And then after that, he like dropped his kids off to school, went to his mom's house, apparently like put his hand through a plate glass window, so he had like a really bloody hand.
Okay.
So he wrapped the hand in like a pillowcase, a white pillowcase, and him and his baby mama were driving to the hospital. So they see the hat, they pull over, the guy gets out to go get his hat. My friend drives up behind him, sees a abandoned vehicle, sees the hazards on, so he, pulls up behind him, calls in that he's, assisting a motorist, gets out to talk to the woman. And then he sees this guy walking across 3 lanes of highway with a bloody hand on one hand, and then his other hand is tucked inside of his jacket on a black metallic object.
Okay.
So the guy walks up to him. My friend says, "Hey, how you doing, man?" Doesn't answer. He says, "Hey, are you here to help her?" Doesn't answer. Says, "Hey, are you with her?" He says, "No, she's taking me to the hospital." But he's got like his hand on his cell phone inside of his waistcoat, with a jacket over it, bloody hands. So so as he walked past, I guess my friend unholstered his weapon, and he heard the click of the little button.
Like on the phone?
So when he heard the click of the little button of the holster, he turns around and lifts his hands with the black metallic object, which turns out to be a phone.
Oh.
So my friend shoots him one time, misses, thank goodness. And the guy goes to the ground, says, "Hey, I don't have a gun. Guys, checks him for a gun, checks him for wounds. He's fine." So anyway.
Lucky. But he still shot at him.
He shot at him. So anyway, got charged with attempted murder, second-degree assault, 2 counts of reckless endangerment. So I was sitting at this trial all week, and it was like the prosecution had the weakest case, but found guilty, all charges.
Damn. So he's a cop who's going to jail. Dude, I honestly think of that all the time where I'm like that, people say that, but they're like, man, that's got to be one of the fucking hardest jobs. Because if you're wrong about that stuff, then you could be dead.
Yeah. And I'll be the first to say, he fucked up.
Obviously.
For real.
Obviously. What the jury look like?
Well, they opted for a bench trial,
okay.
Which means no jury.
What'd the judge look like?
Kind of what you'd expect. Soros kind of money.
Okay. Yeah, that's not great.
So.
What's
the only.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say.
the only.
No, you go.
The only expert witness. So the state has this guy that that is the expert witness for the state, evaluates all their cop cases. This guy reviewed the video and then actually swapped over to the defense. So the prosecution didn't bring not even a single witness with any kind of expertise who could say that it was unjustified or excessive or
Yeah, I mean, obviously he thought his phone was a gun, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he thought.
Yeah, which is not.
But
honestly, I bet you if it was a white guy or a Chinese guy or something, it'd probably been Probably been in better shape.
Oh,
How much time is he
Yeah,
facing?
100%. 100%. Well, I think it's a minimum 5 years for the second-degree attempted murder charge, but it's a maximum of 35.
Oh, my God.
So
did he have any
a terrible situation?
Yeah, did he have any history otherwise? Like any kind of
No, he had like shot another guy to death, but that one was like 100% justified. The guy was like shooting at like him and like a bunch of other cops, and then they did the ballistics, and it turned out like his bullet was one of the ones, but that's totally justified, right?
What did that guy look like?
I do not know, but I live in like PG County, Maryland, which is just to like the north of DC.
Okay.
So it's like 80% black or something like that, and my friend is white. But
yeah, that sucks.
But like most of the other cops on the force are black, and like he had like other cops coming out to support him, and
Yeah, I wonder if they're trying to just make an example out of him.
Oh, for sure. The local county executive ran like on that she was going to I think her election was, I don't know, maybe like 4 years ago, and that was like one of her things was that she was gonna really like put the hammer down on cops.
Yeah. Ugh, that sucks. And now he's got to be a cop. I don't know how it works, like cops in prison. I can't imagine. Great.
I don't know that one. Yeah, I mean, I know normally, you go with your race or whatever, but I think if you're a cop, you might be kind of on your own.
Jesus.
Like you fall into the other category.
Yeah. You're like with the sex offenders. You're basically like probably a sex offender.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully not.
Not a literal sex offender, but that's almost the grouping that you get. You're like the
right.
You're like the
people who
the
don't
Indian,
have a home.
Yeah, like the Untouchables Indian cast.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so. Anyway, that's
when's
kind
the
of what I want to
sentencing?
talk about.
When's the sentencing?
What's that? September 11th. But actually, since the trial, it came out that the prosecution was withholding evidence for the second time. So they got the case. The trial was supposed to be like 3 or 4 months ago. And it turned out that the state had procured the internal affairs report, which cleared him, and they did not provide that to the defense. So like they had to push the case, and then after the whatever you call it, where they found him guilty, it came out like 2 days later that there was another piece of evidence that they had withheld.
That's not.
Maryland politics is kind of corrupt. Like out of the last 2 or 3 mayors, like several of them have been like got out on like corruption stuff.
Good afternoon.
Not great. Yeah, I'm trying to watch the dash cam footage of this actually.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, you yeah.
I don't know if this
is. It doesn't look good for sure.
This is a press conference. All the police officers are black.
Yeah. I mean, the whole county's black. So,
yeah.
like all the police, all the judges, everybody. So, like that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to be a cop if you're not.
No. Of course, but yeah, not great. Does he have a GoFundMe or anything?
Yeah.
Yes. Does he have a family?
No.
Does he have a wife and kids or anything?
No, he's had a rough life. So he's 35. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago, his wife died of breast cancer.
Oh God.
And then he has a girlfriend. We're planning to get married, but that's probably all out the window now.
Damn. Well, that is unfortunate. Yep. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Tough job. That is. Yeah. At least he didn't kill the guy, I guess. If there's any.
Yeah, that's at least no one. At least he doesn't, have to live with someone, because the guy didn't really do anything wrong. Like he was maybe dumb. You're kind of like dumb for walking up on a cop with your like hand in your waistband. But,
that's the thing is
he didn't do anything wrong.
You would think that. Oh, he shot at him multiple times, but he drops to the ground, but he didn't get shot.
No, there's one shot. So like during the trial, they actually go frame by frame, and there's a car that drives past him, and the bullet actually gets caught in the car.
Oh, that's even worse.
And so the bullet actually he fires before the gun is fully drawn. So like it was like the bullet was like at hip level or maybe even below. Because like you see like when he goes and checks him for like a gun and like wounds, like he like just looks at his legs. He does because he actually he says that he didn't mean to fire it, which first I thought was BS, and then I like saw how low like it was when he shot, and I was like, well, maybe, but it doesn't matter.
All right, I'm gonna play this video for people to watch. We'll see. All right, cool. Anything else?
No, man. Like I said,
cool.
Long-time fan. I think you really bring something to, especially the boys cast. Like I said, I started listening to it once you were already there, and then I went back to go listen to like the old episodes, and I was like, kind of rough.
Just not the same.
Like you really balanced. I think you really balanced Ryan out well. Like,
yeah,
'cause you're like super chill, and like he's kind of like zany. It's like a good balance.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in. Sorry about your buddy. Were you like a witness?
Right,
were you like a character witness, or you just there to support him?
No, I was not a character witness. They did have some character witnesses, but they didn't use any of them since it wasn't a jury.
Gotcha. All right, man.
Yep.
Thanks for calling in.
All right.
Later.
Yep.
Okay, let's watch this video. Let's watch this video. I don't have audio. Audio is, I don't think, very necessary here. So here's him getting out of his car. He's looking around. He sees an abandoned car, as noted by the caller. Here's the guy walking over, bloody hand, walking away, and then he's a southpaw. And then he just shoots at him. Should I get...
210. Send me another unit.
Hold on. Let's see if we can get... I don't know how to sync up the audio, but I'll just play this off my speaker. Sorry. Let me start this here.
How you doing? You know her? You here to help her? Are you here to help her?
Nah, she taking me in the hospital.
Come here. You got a gun.
What I do?
You got a gun.
I don't have a gun.
What did you do? 210. Send me another unit.
What did you do? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
I'm sorry.
Why would you do that? He just was getting his hand off the side of the road.
210. Send me a fireboard.
Yeah, not great. I mean, the 20 I'm sorries in a row, probably, yeah, that does not look great. That was like in terms of police encounters where shots are fired. And I mean, I'm a shots fired enthusiast. I've seen every episode of Cops Shots Fired Edition, which is of all the Cops, like anthologies. Highly recommend the Cops Shots Fired Edition. Every interaction ends with someone getting shot, which is crazy that we used to live in a time where you go, yeah, I'm just going to watch Cops on like Fox on a Sunday night at 8 p.m. You go, I'm just going to watch Cops shoot people. Yeah, that guy literally did nothing. He had his back to him, like, yeah, not great. that's not great. I don't followed. Honestly, I feel like the 20 I'm sorries at the end of that kind of did him in. Thanks for the gold coin, whoever sent that. Not great. Someone says take myself off the screen. Oh, whoops. I didn't realize. I didn't even realize I was still there. Thanks somebody. Guys, I don't do this enough to show videos. I forget that there's other stuff. And I don't have a producer. You guys, I have a producer, but he's just handling the phone calls. All right. Well, that wasn't great. It's unfortunate. His wife died of cancer. This guy's going through it. Not that excuses his actions. I mean, almost the problem with this police thing is you're like, they don't make that much money. And you think, I guess people say similar to like teaching, but it's, teaching not like life or death. But yeah, that guy didn't really look like I would want, and again, it's so easy to say like, yeah, just wait to see the gun, when probably if, the firearms experts would know a little better than I, but if you wait to see the gun, then way higher chance you're dead. But definitely the fact white on black, that's tough. That was the thing, especially today on the anniversary of George Floyd's brutal murder. I just said that to piss some of you off. Yeah, he didn't shoot low. It looks like he either shot to the side of him or over his head. I don't know. That's crazy too. Like, I know it's obviously a bang bang thing, but he seemed like he was 5 feet away from the guy. As far as I understand, you're trained to shoot for like critical mass, the largest in the chest, abdomen area, I guess the back. Dude, shooting that guy in the back, shooting a black man in a NASCAR jacket on the side of the highway in the back when he didn't have a gun and he was just on his way to the hospital. Oh my God. I know that this police officer is probably just like, my life's over. This sucks. I fucked up. But man, your life could have been so much worse if you were a good shot. Shooting a black man in the back? Yikes. All right, let's go take another call here. And the phone lines are open. 1-347-391-6995. Only 2 callers on the line, so if you want to call in, got a pretty good chance of getting through. Hello.
Nope.
What's happening? You're on Low Value Mail.
Got my headphones in. You hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, so, with that whole cop thing, you're going to sign up to be a cop. Don't be a pig about it.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, just the same way. I mean, the same way, like, if you're going to be black, like, if you're going to be born black, not that you can decide that or anything,
Yeah, you don't.
Don't be a nigger about it. Yeah.
So you side with the state of Maryland. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Unfortunately, that would be a pretty tough one to get out of.
Oh, here's the thing. It is. It like ultimately it is unfair. Like this whole thing of we need to listen to minority communities about their criticisms of police. No, I think the more valuable voices to listen to about criticism of police is those of law-abiding citizens, because people who follow the rules and still get harassed by police, their criticisms are way more valuable than a fucking hoodlum.
Who's the hoodlum in this instance?
I mean, hoodlums where they're like, oh, I'm getting harassed by police. It's like, yeah, well, the police know you. You've had.
I mean, he wasn't even getting. That's the thing. This guy wasn't getting harassed by the police. This was just like.
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this at certain instances. It's just when like this whole thing builds up, and then also brings into the question of, well, the police in our communities, they don't even come from our own communities. If you look at police, like law enforcement agencies, that like sheriff's departments and municipal, police departments who do police their own communities, they live there and everything, that's where you have the highest levels of corruption. And this is the most prevalent with majority black police departments. What is it? If you ever look into
I feel like that's made up.
Anytime, it's not made up. No, this is a very, very prevalent thing that happens in the South. When I say the South, like Southeast, everything between Texas and Maryland, that whole, like what used to be Dixie.
Okay.
There will be local cops, and they're like, I grew up in this neighborhood. I know everyone. This person becomes a cop, and they're like, I know who the drug dealers are. I know who the dope boys are. I know who the thieves are. They know all the criminal elements. They let them skate. They let them play. They let them rack up their money. And when they're like, yeah, well, you had a little fun. Now we're coming in and grabbing, like it.
I mean, I definitely agree that happens. I guess I'm more the notion that this is an exclusively black thing.
Oh no, I mean, you can go to any, dude, look at Russia. I mean, there was there was either a Serbian or Croatian, one of the Yugoslav politicians. He said about America, and this was when it was during the time of the Cold War. He's like, Americans say they're free, but we're Eastern Europeans. We live in a shithole, but at least the poorest man can still bribe a cop. In America, you can't.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
the problem is that comes with it is, cops will always be corrupt, but it's so prevalent amongst blacks and browns. Negroid and Hispanic cops are some of the most corrupt.
I know you're saying that, but I don't think you have any evidence to prove this whatsoever.
Any evidence to prove this? Dude, I grew up in Houston. We had such
that's anecdotal evidence. You understand
it's
the difference.
No. You're not going to come at me when I say anecdotes do not prove generality.
You're trying to do the lived experience thing?
Motherfucker, you are so privileged, Danny, because you never have to grow up.
What am I talking to Hasan Piker right now?
Dude, I had to grow up around blacks and browns. You never did. So
your family chose to. They could have lived with white people in the Soviet Union. It's all there.
We grew up somewhere where it was majority white, and it became increasingly more and more black and more brown because of the decisions of liberals and Jews to flood our places. It's this whole love thy neighbor. No, love thy neighbor is people you've known for generations and are familiar with, not people airdropped overnight. And especially with Houston.
Weren't you airdropped overnight?
How did you get here? No, seriously, how the fuck did you get here? Did you float in a barrel? Did you float in a barrel over Niagara Falls?
No, I drove
like that
here.
One lady?
No, I drove.
But I was originally calling in about the whole Cuba thing.
Yeah.
So when every time so this whole thing of Trump's original voting base that voted for him and they all feel like they've been betrayed, which they have.
Yeah.
One of the key sticking points is the issue of foreigners and those being allowed in, so-called legal migrants.
Yeah, who vote Democrat.
It's gotten to the point where we northern Texas. It's literally looking like Canada, where the ballot.
I've heard. It's all Indians.
Yeah,
right?
the ballot is it's literally nearly the same looking doppelganger dots, Sikhs. And the only thing different is they have different colored turbans.
Yeah.
I've seen the ballots in Canada. It's happening here in North Texas.
Yeah. That's, when I was in Plano, I heard that from literally 5 different people. Just they're like, man, there's so many Indians here all of a sudden.
Those are the people who choose to speak up, and more people should speak up. But the thing is, when Trump is always talking about, we're gonna add Venezuela, we're gonna add Cuba, we're gonna add Greenland. The first immediate pushback, always online, and that people in his cabinet hear from their own backers that are not in the cabinet is, we can't take on any more citizens. It's already bad enough with that we count Puerto Ricans as citizens.
Yeah.
They're a fucking nuisance already.
Well, they don't have full representation though.
They don't even deserve it. They
don't even have it. There's no Congress people.
listen to you can hear the choice of music they decide to play at 3 a.m.
Wait, you don't like
They
hearing
shouldn't even
reggaeton at 3 a.m?
I'd blow my fucking brains out if I could. So with this whole like America, like it's so with all these nations that are like I'm a Monroe Doctrine kind of guy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, look, we have our hemisphere. We don't want foreign influence. I don't want America to fully control all these nations in our hemisphere.
Yeah.
Between Alaska all the way to Argentina, but I want them to be like, hey, we'd rather be friends with Washington.
Yeah, you want them to get in line.
Get in line with Washington versus being in line with Peking or Beijing, however you want to pronounce it.
Sure.
The only problem is like we're just gonna have to go back to banana republics, like where we like these are like protectorate states of ours, but they're not our citizens. So, I mean, because
I thought you were going to say that Cuba is, if you get those 10 million people, those are like Republican voters for life. It's almost the opposite of what the Democrats do.
No. Hey, Danny, no. The Cubans who live in Cuba, they're just your run-of-the-mill, platano peeling jungle vine swingers. I don't hold that against them. That's just how they were born. That is just their genetics and DNA.
Yeah, but I mean, they come to America and they're fucking Republicans, like diehards, all of them, pretty much all of them.
Well, not the ones that are criminals, not the ones that don't learn. Like there are many who do not.
You're going to get some criminals, but I'm just saying to kind of level the playing field with all the Democrats.
So before when I moved from Houston to Austin, that was like 2019-ish.
Yeah.
We had a humongous surge of Cubans. And you could see it in all these like shitty gig industries like Uber and DoorDash and all that stuff. And I'm like, how the fuck did he even show up out of nowhere? These are not like your Miami Cubans, like, Royce from Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's a good stock Cuban. He's an actual compadre. There's a whole flood of these new Cubans that have been basically by the system that they lived under, been turned into criminals.
I mean, some of them are criminals. Like, what you're saying, they're all criminals?
No, it's not their fault, but they've been conditioned to think like rats scurrying on a boat that's sinking. They're like, we have to get out somehow by any means necessary. It is not their fault.
No.
But I can't hold it against them. It is in their nature. It is in their DNA. But I just don't want them around me. And I don't want them in my area. I don't want them in my state. I don't want them in my county. I don't want them in my country. What they can do is
why don't you move somewhere more remote? Why are you living in Austin? Or Houston? No, you live in Houston?
First off, I'm poor. So,
yeah. Well, why don't you pick yourself up by your bootstraps?
First off, you want to be a mass migration promoter like a Jew. Now you're trying to be a boomer. Don't make me hate you anymore. I don't really hate you, but you're sounding like a boomer.
No. I mean, that I'm kidding about. But I mean, I don't know. What happened to like manifest destiny and like imperialism? What are we just putting a fucking cap on that?
Where are we supposed to go now?
Where I'm just saying. America needs to expand its empire.
All the unexplored land in America is being used by like. Why don't you go manifest?
Do you not want America to expand its empire? Are you happy with just where it's at and just like this is it forever?
No. What I'm getting at is if we expand, so there's this old map. I think it was the President Tyler, and his vision of America was being that the borders would include Cuba and the northern part of Mexico and the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah.
And like half of the Caribbean. But here's the thing. I'm fine if we hold those as possessions. I just don't want those people to have same rights as me.
Well, you can't have your case. I mean, Puerto Rico's a perfect example. They don't exactly, Like, you wouldn't be willing to have like a Puerto Rico situation with Cuba? I mean, they can vote in federal elections. They just don't have representation in Congress.
Look, I'm not like a doomist, but I'm like, dude, let Puerto Rico have its full independence because they will just go the way of Haiti. They really will.
I think they'd be closer to Dominican Republic than
And then
Haiti.
the problem with that is, Cuba, they're being carved out by the Chinese.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point where
China just dropped. China just gave Cuba, I think it was yesterday, 15. Like, what was it? Like, I think it was. It can't be 15 million. Like something like 15,000 tons of rice or something yesterday.
Yeah, this is insane. It's like if you look at Cuba and you know the geology of Cuba, like they can
15,000 tons of rice, donated by China.
Yeah, they can grow their own food. It's just one, they've been mismanaged by communism, but that's what always happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, for instance, like if you know, like you have coworkers in the comedy field who are cigar aficionados.
Yeah.
Cuba is no longer the top market for their cigars because all that stuff has been invested in with China, and then the Chinese were like, we need more product, more so than quality. That now Nicaragua is now the highest in quality for cigars.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. So like what's happening to America where it's being bought out and carved out financially by the Jew. China is doing that with South America and the Caribbean.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you have influence, you might as well use it.
Yeah.
All it costs you is
like,
fucking a bunch of rice.
Yeah, no. So, like, even though I am against, like, this whole financial carving out, if I had to decide, I would rather it be Washington, D.C. carving out our own hemisphere rather than a bunch of fucking rice-munching slants, from Peking.
Sure, from Peking.
I mean, it's already bad enough. It's bad enough in Vancouver. 30% of retail of residential space, it's owned by the fucking Celestials.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they own tons of properties that literally sit vacant. All right, I gotta let you go. Thanks, Slav. Slav, everybody. Okay. I don't know. I like a more imperialist America. Does that make me a bad guy? I don't know. I want the country I'm living in expanding. Hello. You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Brendan from Edmonton.
Brendan from Edmonton. What's happening?
Just wondering if what your thoughts are on a more practical solution for us than separatism.
I don't know. You know what? I watch is a guilty pleasure of mine, which I'm sure the Americans wouldn't believe, but I watch CBC almost every day just to kind of see what's going on in Canada. of course, from CBC's lens, but I do watch it like maybe not every day, but I watch CBC quite often just to see what's going on. So
you're missing it.
Yeah. So basically, for those who haven't, and I know the Americans are like, we don't give a shit, but this somehow, some way affects America. Not much, but we've been talking about the Alberta referendum. Now there's going to be, from the sounds of it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the Premier, Danielle Smith, is essentially saying she does not support separatism. She's a Remainer. And now the referendum is going to be on a referendum. Is that correct? That it's not actually a referendum. It's a referendum to decide if they're going to have a referendum now.
Yeah, the petition to get the referendum was quashed because of incorrect consultation with Indigenous, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so her solution is a referendum to see if we should have a referendum.
Okay.
But the problem is, like, when Quebec was separating, just the thought of separation caused not all, but many businesses to leave. Like Bank of Montreal isn't even headquartered in Montreal. They moved to Toronto.
Yeah.
And like, we're not going to achieve anything by separate. I mean,
but there's a difference with Alberta, which is that you can't.
We're going to turn into the next Puerto Rico.
Well, you guys can't just pull all of your oil out of the ground and move to Toronto, right? It's a bank. A bank is just offices and paperwork. but you guys actually have physical resources that reside in Alberta. So, are you a Remainer or are you a Leaver?
Yeah, but if we're, I'm a Remainer. I mean, I'm on the side of Alberta's getting screwed by the Fed, but yeah, definitely a Remainer. And the thing is that, yeah, if we separate, then we're already having difficulty getting that oil to Tidewater. So then what are we going to do?
Yeah. It sounds like Carney wants to, or at least is open to a pipeline. Is that, do you have any hopes there?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they're saying. I mean, it's going to take years and years, and it depends on if they actually move through the process to get approval quicker. Cause the Trans Mountain ballooned from $4.5 billion to $35 billion cost from the government. So I don't know. So that's what I'm like. I don't know what the better solution is, because I think the separatism movement is going to really fucking hurt us. But
yeah,
how do we get something?
Unless you guys make a move to well, you'd have to join the United. The best, like not the cleanest way, but the most enriching way for Albertans, like quality of life wise, would be to leave Canada and join the United States. That would probably take fucking forever. Would never happen under, like, almost it would have to happen under Trump. I feel like if there was a Democratic president in office, which is basically every other term for the most part, they're not doing that deal. Even if it's in the benefits.
I don't think it would happen.
No, I don't think
so
it would
many
happen.
people would leave. Property markets would absolutely tank. Nobody would want to move up to Alberta from the U.S. It'd be a ghost town of the whole province.
Well, I guess probably. It depends what the price of oil is. I suppose there's that as well. I mean, obviously these high oil prices.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be jobs.
But it's there'd be jobs. But yeah, probably not great. It's not going to happen. Like the odds of Alberta somehow leaving Canada is really low. But maybe you guys, I mean, maybe all of this kind of complaining gets you some negotiation power with the rest of the country.
Well, I guess that's the hope.
Yeah, I guess that's the hope. But do you know any people who want to leave in Edmonton?
Not directly, but you know, you always hear about the guy that knows his doctor mentioned something while they're getting a checkup or something.
Right.
But I'm in downtown Edmonton, so
yeah, like
downtown
Edmonton,
very,
Calgary,
very liberal company.
Yeah, Edmonton and Calgary, which is what, like 2 million people combined of like, what is it, 5 million? There's like, that's right there. Like,
no, closer to 4, and Edmonton and Calgary is more like 2.5. Oh, but yeah, so it's just the rural population, and that's the problem. Is the separatists are basically hard capped at about 30%.
Oh no, no, population is 5 million.
So it's like it wouldn't even.
But even still,
there you go.
Yeah, population is 5 million.
There's no way they're getting through.
No, I can't even imagine. I bet if they got double-digit votes from anybody from Calgary or Edmonton to leave, I'd be surprised. And that's not nearly enough. You guys would need like 40% at least, assuming everybody else So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like not going to happen. And yeah, I don't know how to improve Alberta other than the fact that you guys are sitting on one of the richest natural resource deposits like on planet Earth. Oil is $100 a barrel. You think this stuff would kind of figure itself out, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating hearing the rest of Canada complain about the oil prices when we're sitting on all of it. But
yeah, and it doesn't even stay in the country. It goes elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have the refining capacity for it, but
well, fucking build it. What are we doing?
That's the other problem. Yeah, well, we should have. We should have done that 40 years ago.
Yeah, I should have done it 40 years ago. I guess transporting it's the problem, though. Even if you do build a refinery.
Yeah.
Still getting rid of it's a problem. All right, man. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's go to some more calls. The phone lines are open. 1-347-391-6995. Thank you, everybody, for sending the gold coin for 10 jewels, which I've come to learn are... Can you send single jewels? Can you send 1 jewels? It would be funny if you guys start tipping me actual pennies. And it literally has Jew in the name. Just me. But that would be funny. All right, let's go to, I believe it's Jacob. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you loud and clear. What's happening?
Fuck yeah, bro. This is the greatest moment of my life, dude. I am Jacob May. I'm living here in Brainerd, Minnesota. Hail.
Brainerd, Minnesota. Where is that?
2 hours away from where George Floyd had his fun. Yay.
And the ICE shootings.
Don't tell me. Don't remind me. I'm going through PTSD right now.
From the ICE shootings. It's a lot.
No. I just.
Oh,
I'm
is
2
Brainerd
hours away from the Twin Cities.
Brainerd's from Fargo.
No. Brainerd is like 2 hours west of the Twin Cities.
Isn't there like a scene in Fargo where he's something about Brainerd? The movie Fargo.
They might have mentioned it.
William, yeah. Brainerd, Minnesota. Fargo fandom is a city in central Minnesota, and there's something that I've heard that before. It's for sure from Fargo. something about maybe when he's trying to sell.
It's a really weird place, dude. It's not gonna lie. It's a really weird place. It's
Marge Gunderson is the Marge Gunderson is the sheriff of Brainerd, and much of the local crime is tied to the area.
Such a weird place to live. Not gonna lie.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
It's like
what you're famous for.
Thank you for enlightening me, dude. Now I feel retarded. Thanks.
You should go watch. Have you ever seen Fargo?
I've only seen clips. I've never actually sat
go
through
watch
it. It seems
man.
way too.
It literally takes place in your hometown.
Well, anyway, first-time caller, long-time lover of you and Ryan. Been watching the Boys Cast for years. Been watching your show for years.
Good man.
Fuck yeah. Finally, I've always been the guy that's just listening to the fucking call-in show, and I'm like, I'm not important enough to call in. And then you were saying like, man, there's not a lot of callers or viewers right now, and I was like, is this my day?
Yeah, there's a lot of viewers right now actually, but I love first-time callers. I like hearing from people. I like talking to people. I like hearing to people, or from people. So what's up? What did you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I would love to just hang with you for a few minutes and just admire the fact that I'm talking with one of my favorite people on earth right now. This is amazing.
This is amazing. This is amazing for me. Are you having a good Memorial Day?
Yeah, I fucking worked 9 to 5 I manage a small diner that's really popular here in Brainerd, and yeah, I started cracking some beers after work, and then I started watching you and was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking man up and give you a call.
There we go. I don't know.
Shout out to Gerard.
Yeah, shout out to Gerard. I don't know what this whole man up thing is. It's just a chat on the phone, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
It takes some balls. It makes you. You have to like feel like your words mean something that somebody would want to listen to. I just feel like
half
people
of these
usually.
Callers?
Ooh, you got a point there, my friend.
Yeah,
maybe I should just do it every week.
It's called low value.
I could follow up Slav every single week and just be like, forget that last one. Let's keep going.
Absolutely. So you work in a diner in Brainerd, Minnesota. That's not very exciting. Are you from there?
No. My dad's a pastor, so I've moved all over the place.
Oh, I didn't know that was a
But mostly Minnesota,
job.
Iowa, Wisconsin. What's up?
I didn't know that was like a job where you have to travel. It sounds like you're almost like a military brat.
Yeah, being a pastor's kid, my dad would move every like 4 years. But then I went from the coolest kindergarten through fourth grade in Mason City, Iowa. It's not a massive city, but it's pretty sizable. And I lived like right on Main Street. So I had friends that I could bike to and all these parks and all this fun and constant action going on. And then my parents were like, all right, we're moving to Darwin, Minnesota.
Ooh. I know about Darwin, Manitoba.
The great ball of twine that Weird Al made a song about.
Okay, because there's a Darwin in Manitoba, which is so you went from population 348. I don't know what it would be. I gotta say I'm like interested in the note. I know I'd hate it after a day, but the notion of living somewhere where there's like 300 people, there's something about it that seems. There's
I didn't even live in the town. I lived 5 miles outside of it.
Well,
next
probably
to
everybody does,
okay,
though,
so
right?
yeah. Well, I live 5 miles away from Darwin, and that great twine ball that Weird Al talked about. I had cornfields on 3 sides of me, and then I had across the other way was the church and the lawn, and then across the street was a graveyard. And that was it. Just fields, me, a church, and a graveyard for like 10 years of my life.
Sounds
I was like,
boring.
what the fuck is this place?
Yeah.
Oh man, I had to come up with I read so many books and played so many video games and watched so many anime in that time.
Doesn't sound terrible. Doesn't sound like there was a lot of trouble to get into. Was your high school like just like 12 people kind of thing?
I had like 69 people in my class.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Yeah, I went to like Litchfield High School, which was like 500 people in the high school. But I mean, yeah, like I've been just a small town bro watching the big world, watching Joe Rogan and watching you guys, and I'm like, man, I'm just a nobody, am I?
No.
But I have a lot of things to share, and
Sure.
And I'm bored by all the fucking normies around me that want to talk about the weather and sports ball.
Yeah, I guess that's the quintessential Minnesota existence. It's just the snow and the
Hunting,
Timberwolves.
fishing, loving every day. That's what the
Honestly,
country boys say.
You know what? I will say there's a real grass is greener thing going on here, because what you're describing to me, I'm like, that kind of sounds awesome. I'm like, have you ever been to New York City?
No, I've been to, like, I spent a month in Germany when I was 16, and that's probably the coolest trip I ever took.
Yeah, I don't know,
dude.
If I'm ever
Germany
near
in
Brainerd,
2006.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Fun time.
World Soccer Cup, dude.
They don't call it the World Soccer Cup. It's just called the World Cup. All right, Jacob. I got to take some more calls. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's America, man. It's America. You got to specify that shit.
The World Cup's starting in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something. Anyways,
yeah, there's already trinkets in the fucking gas stations around me, and I'm like, does anybody actually care about this? I don't think so.
I mean, I was looking at tickets for games, and they literally start at $1,000 to get into any game at MetLife Stadium. So, unless somebody wants to gift me some tickets, I will not be attending. All right, Jacob.
Cheaper than Taylor Swift.
That's true. That is a good point. I got to let you go, man. Any final words?
Okay, I had one more thing I wanted to bring up, but that's fine.
Yes, no, bring it up. Let's go.
Okay, so you know Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life?
Yes.
I came up with like a list of 8 that's even, I would say, possibly better, but I don't know. It's a work in progress.
Let's hear them.
It's just concepts to live by. One would be the Pareto principle. Like, you have to understand these things, and you will understand life way better.
Pareto principle,
the 80-20 rule.
The 80-20 rule absolutely is true, by the way. It is.
Yes. Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yep.
What you know, and what you don't know, you think you know, but you actually don't.
Mm-hmm.
The golden rule, which is biblical, like, treat others as you would want to be treated and love one another. Infinite game theory, that's a trip right there.
Explain. The infinite.
And then free body problem, understanding that complex systems are impossible to predict the future of beyond a certain horizon, like the weather. You can't predict the weather 7 days, or you can't predict the weather like weeks in advance. You can have a guess.
Yeah.
And then I would sum up mindfulness meditation, know thyself, the unexamined life is not worth living, as like just one rule. Like, you have to have self-awareness. You need to examine your life. You need to ponder life. You need to have some deeper philosophical understanding. And then there's the Matthew effect and halo effect. You know what those are, right?
No.
Where it's
Sounds biblical.
well, it's the Matthew effect is biblically specific because there's a verse in Matthew that says, to those who have much, much will be given. To those who have little, much will be taken away from them. It's kind of like the parable of talents, where like the guy who's given 1 talent, he buries it, doesn't do anything with it. And he goes, well, here's your 1 talent back. And the master goes, bro, you didn't do anything. What are you doing?
So
and
if
then
you
the
have
guy
little,
who gave like 10.
Sorry, if you have little, much will be taken away from you?
Yeah, that's kind of how life works out. Like if like the Matthew effect and Halo effect, it's like if you're just this strikingly handsome, tall dude with a full head of hair, and and you're really smart and talented, you're good at sports, people just look at you and go, oh, here's a whole bunch more. Now you're even more successful.
The rich get richer.
And then you look at like this, yeah, the rich get richer. And then you look at somebody who's just like this guy who doesn't take care of himself. Nobody says nice things about him. He's just this weird recluse in his parents' basement playing video games. More is going to be taken away from him.
Interesting. You know what? I thought the Bible had all these like kind of aphorisms that were meant to kind of lift you up, but this is kind of like, hey, if shit's going bad, like it's about to get worse.
Yeah, you have to realize where you are in the Pareto principle in that 80-20. The top 20% are going like the top 20% of men are going to get the bottom 80%, like the top 80% of women or whatever. You know what the status is.
Sure.
Like it's that effect. Like you see a nice looking woman and you want to be nice to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and you see an ugly looking woman and you're just kind of like, man.
Yeah. You're invisible to me.
Okay. And then the final thing in the list was ants. Have you heard of automatic negative thoughts that steal your happiness?
No, I can kind of understand the premise.
It's descriptive it's descriptive in the name. Automatic negative thoughts that steal your happiness. Every single time that you're just in your head and you're like, oh, this person probably said that because they don't like me or something like that. I call that ants for short. You have ants on the brain. And it's like Joe Rogan says, you have that little bitch part of you that constantly is sitting in the back of your head chirping, saying negative stuff all the time. You have to be aware of that just to conquer it. And that's my rules for life. I don't know. It's a growing process.
Sounds good. I honestly feel like I just talked to a character from the movie Fargo. But you haven't seen it, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But
don't you know?
You seem overly chipper. I will say that. You seem like you've been applying these rules.
No, I'm just.
And it seems
I'm
like it's
having
working.
a great time, man.
I know. You seem like
I'm on cloud 9.
There you go. All right, Jacob. Good talking to you, man.
Thanks you so much, man. You have a great day.
You too. Isn't that guy like so nice? All right, we're gonna get to some patron calls. Let's go to Dylan, and then we're gonna get to Abdul, and then we're gonna go to James. Hello.
Boy, is this going to be a contrast.
we had him, and now we have Eeyore.
The first time anybody gives that guy drugs, he's going to be a fucking just a complete addict.
I want to see his like Molly. I want to see his next day after doing Molly. Just the crash.
Oh
it's
man!
Like, fuck all my rules. There are no rules.
Yeah, I just wanted to, shout out to all our veterans on Memorial Day, the ones that haven't killed
I'm
themselves
not buying
yet.
it. You're like, you have like
Jason. I'm glad you're still here.
Jason, we
there's
thank
still
you for your
time.
service. Still time.
Yep, there's still time for you to take action against your commanders or
What
whoever.
What kind of action do you foresee Jason taking again? Don't do this, Jason, by the way.
Oh, I don't foresee anything.
No, but like, what would you, if you could control Jason, what would you have him do?
What's the one we were since we were talking about the Cubans? What's the one where they're gonna fly the airplane into the building in South Florida, and then that like was a predecessor to Northwoods? That's what it was.
Oh.
You can do something like that. Stage a coup.
Like okay.
Do something zesty. Instead of
I feel like pulling a
participating
coup
in.
On military with 1 million active members might be tough.
I mean, well, we already talked about how I believe that they tried to kill me when I tried to become a PJ.
Yeah.
So that was like one of my first calls.
Right.
But I think Jason gets a little bit of the wrong ideas. Like I don't particularly want these people to kill themselves. I just want these people to understand that like you're being lied to. I can sum it up in the phrase GI go home, but like you're fighting for nothing. You're actually making everyone's life worse. And I don't understand how you like this expansionism.
Oh.
We just keep sending money to these other places where I have to drive on shitty roads and be surrounded, or I guess being encroached more and more by
yeah, but I mean, an argument could be made that without America's military power, things would be worse. Certainly,
they could be worse.
Absolutely, than they currently are. Absolutely.
So I spent so much time around veterans. Like this is why I have such like a bad taste in my mouth about it, is because like I would drink with them. I lived with somebody that was in officer school and I had to fucking tutor that retard and help him go through it. And like when we would go drinking with some of these people, like the malaise that these guys would talk about, like jokingly about blowing up kids, or just like
really they're joking.
Jason was like
joking about blowing up kids.
I swear to God, dude. I swear to God, because how are you going to live with yourself if you don't fucking just get over it by joking around? Like otherwise, you're going to blow your brains out.
Actually, can you hold that thought a second there? Can you just hold one second? Just
you
one
got
second.
him on the line. Are you going to bring him on here?
I want just
Springer me.
Yeah, I actually do want to do that. Hold on a second. Let me just talk to Jason here for a second. Of course, if Jason's okay with this, I don't want to Jerry Springer people in that sense. But I think this would be Jason. Are you there?
Hey, Danny. Hey, Dylan.
How you doing? Do you want to talk to Dylan?
Good.
I was going to give you the option. I didn't want to spring it upon you.
So, yeah, I wasn't going to call in. I was listening live.
I
didn't
bet.
really have anything to say.
Yes.
So,
Happy Memorial Day, Jason. Thank you
Matt,
for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't make a big deal out of it personally, but no, I didn't really have anything to say, and then imagine my surprise.
Can I patch? Are you interested in patching Dylan into this call?
Yeah, sure.
This is a low value mail first on this Memorial Day. Here we go. Dylan, Jason.
Well, I asked you to do this previously.
I know, but I want to make sure all
Springer.
parties are consenting adults. You guys are on together. Go ahead.
I mean, I pay
Hey,
his salary.
Well, Dylan, I pay taxes too, so I also pay my salary. But nice to meet you. I've actually been interested in maybe talking to you. Didn't know if it was possible just because of the format of the show. But
I already asked Danny before if we could fucking talk to each other, because I really was interested in this thing about the airplanes going down and the helicopter going down. That we had a little argument about how this went down. But
so I don't remember us having an argument. I remember listening when you were talking about your research into FADEC, and I was actually interested in hanging on every word. And Danny interrupted you and said, "Let me cut you off because nobody cares about this." And I was thinking, well, that's not true because I care. But anyways, I just called in and said that you were like very well informed on the subject based on your research, and that you misspoke on what the acronym was, and that based on my knowledge of how FADEC works, that I don't think that was likely. But I wouldn't say that I was arguing with your opinion.
We go back and forth. I mean, like argument, like not in the two black people in the street yelling at each other. I mean, like a debate kind of argument.
Sure.
But yeah. So, what did you want to go talk about, or you want me to bring something up?
Hold on. Let me moderate this. This will be my Piers Morgan moment here. But because obviously, Jason's in the military. You have seems like disdain for the military. And it's Memorial Day of all day.
I wouldn't have a problem with the military. Like I said, I was trying to enlist until that stupid Marine boomer nearly killed me the day after I got my paperwork for MEPS. So, like, I wanted to make a change, and I wanted to be either a combat controller or a DJ. And I trained myself, like, physically. I was a swimmer for a real long time, and I trained myself for about a year and a half before, like, I fully committed to being able to, like, meet all the requirements. But yeah, I have a problem with the fact that we keep causing inflation, and I'm paying for people that seem to find it very funny that we're killing other people and killing children. And in rewards, they go and buy 4-cylinder Mustangs and Camaros that they wrap around the tree.
Okay, so let me Jason, do you take pleasure in killing people or children who are people?
Don't be a little shit like that, Danny.
Well, no, I mean you're making these pretty broad claims here. Or you know what? I'll even be generous to charitable to Dylan here. Jason, are people who you, I'm not even saying you, but like is this common amongst people who are in the military?
So I'll say this, like, I get where Dylan's coming from. I would say that a very low percentage of people that serve in the military ever kill anyone. Kind of like the number of police officers that ever, like, draw and fire their gun in the line of service. Like, it's a very small percentage that actually, like, fight and fire their rifles for a living or fire artillery for a living. But even amongst that, other than, like, dark humor, like, genuinely people, like, bragging about enjoying, like, killing innocent people, like, absolutely not. I'll say this, I have killed one person who, based on circumstances, turned out to be like a fog of war, not armed person, and I was investigated and cleared. I sleep fine at night, not because I don't care, but because I know that I was doing what I thought was right at the time. This is before I was a pilot. So to say, like, you know, it's just a bunch of baby killers, to me it sounds like the, you know, the hippies greeting soldiers coming home from Vietnam. Like, you think you understand what these people are, what they do, what they think, but you don't. You're painting with a broad brush. What percentage of people in the military are, you know, pieces of shit? It's not zero.
I'm sure there's some sociopaths.
Yeah, you know, and there are a lot of people that join the military because they have problems beforehand. And I think that's really why the veteran suicide rate is so high. It's not people that are, like, you know, haunted by the things they've done. The majority of them never served in combat that get called a veteran suicide.
Right.
So, you know, but, you know, if you're asking me, Danny, like, have I ever killed a child? No.
No.
Have I ever saved a child? Yes.
There you go.
Most of my career has been in a capacity as a rescue pilot. I've done helicopter assaults where, you know, we bring pipe hitters to kill or capture some of the worst people in the area. I'm proud of what I've done on some of those missions and the people I've supported. But yeah, to say that it's a bunch of, you know, people that kill children and celebrate it, it's just not true.
Dylan?
So, yeah, I've met people that I've seen pictures of guys that are, yeah, they're still enrolled. They're more contractors right now, but, you know, of them saving Afghan kids. But then, like, it's moot to me because this entire thing is just, we're doing only offensive. We don't do anything to really, like, it's such a money laundering operation, and most of this stuff wouldn't have happened, and these people wouldn't have to be, like, come over here as refugees or have such blowback if people basically just said, these aren't orders that I'm going to follow. And so it's like you were talking about it really bothered me when a month ago or so when Danny asked you if we were going to Cuba, and then you stuttered or hesitated, and I was like, fuck, I know we're doing it now.
Well, we're obviously
And
doing
then-
it. I mean, that's obvious at this point if you
Well,
read the
So,
read the
so
news.
on that specifically, Dylan, a lot of times whenever I hesitate to answer, it's because I want to tell Danny what I'm doing, but I can't.
Yeah,
And it has
that-
nothing
that's
to
how
do
I
with
understand
Exactly,
it.
that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's just,
That's what I was saying.
it's just, but it has nothing to do with Cuba. It's just that, like, you know, and I recognize it whenever Lou from Guam calls. When you ask, like, you have Wi-Fi on the submarine, and he pauses because he realized he slid a slip that they do, and then just says, I can't tell you, you know, how it works. So,
Well, I've basically gotten a top secret clearance by just giving vets about 4 beers, and I get all the answers I want generally is from the what I've seen is like a lot of loose lips on this stuff. And then when you said the thing about the future is going to be pipelines and shipping, and I'm not sure how much, I'm assuming you have served in Iraq too, and we're aware of the, I don't know if you were, but the situation where we were trying to rebuild or reconnect the pipeline from Kirkuk to Haifa. And that's essentially what we were doing with the second Iraq invasion. And I'm assuming you know that, or?
So I have served in Iraq, but no, I don't have any specific knowledge about pipeline projects or anything like that. So
But there
no,
could be
when I mentioned the
tens of
pipeline
thousands
thing,
of
that
people,
wasn't
right?
any. Yeah, well, that wasn't me saying like I have any type of knowledge on this. That was just me repeating what I had, you know, heard the talking heads on the news talking about diversifying the oil because we don't want to be held hostage by the Strait. So, like, I think you might be giving me more credit as far as like, you know, knowledge of everything in the world. Like, I'm a guy that serves specific purposes, like on a frontline level. I'm not a strategic person.
Okay. And this is not so much that you have knowledge of this, but like your missions or what you see being geared up for is you're seeing more activity and more supplies going over there. Obviously, you're not going to answer that, and I don't expect you to, but like you see things hyping up there, and so you know that we're going to be over there for a while, and we're going to have this colossal situation. And what I keep trying to tell people is because a lot of people in the service that I've met have no idea the things that like why they were there or what was going on. And like, they don't know anything about the North-South corridor. They don't know anything about the Belt and Road Initiative. They don't know the fact, like, just a lot of this stuff that's happening. And they're being sent over there to do like the work of banking cartels, essentially, to build credit lines, because we just that's the way that money is created, is you make credit, and that's how the money gets printed. And so we have to have assets to back that up. And then it's like, I don't understand how, Danny, you could want expansionism, because it's just going to cause more inflation. That's the only reason that they do it, is to go and create more credit and have
Well, I mean,
something to
inflation's
loan
kind
against.
of a given. It's just the rate of inflation. I'm
Not
fine
the
with
way
minimal.
we do it.
I'm fine with. I mean, the system is set up for minimal inflation, which is fine. It's the rate of inflation that's the problem. All right, Jason, I'm going to give you the last word here. We got to take some more callers. Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah. So, like I said before, you know, was really just calling just to, you know, respond to, you know, whatever Dylan was saying. But,
I mean, I feel like Dylan thinks
on.
you're like
Just-
way
just-
more, like every, you know, individual in the military is way more in the know about stuff.
Right.
than-
Now,
than
you know,
they
the
are.
idea that, you know, that the solution to anything is like, well, all that needs to happen is everyone in the military needs to start murdering their officers.
Yes.
First of all, I'm an officer, so I'm not in favor of that.
I'm also not in favor
um,
of that. I'd like to be on the record.
But now, you know, to say like, people need to start ignoring orders. Well, are you saying that the person whose job is an electrician needs to ignore his orders to do maintenance on the building that there's a work order for, or the medevac pilot needs to refuse to do his job and go on a rescue mission? Like,
right.
Not everybody in the military is walking through a village with a flamethrower,
Right. And it would be so dysfunctional if that's, I mean, isn't the point of like basic training is that you guys just do what you're told because things work better that way?
Genuinely, no, like absolutely. Like phase one is absolute indoctrination to get people to buy in, because otherwise they won't do what needs to be done. But no, like if you believe that what we're doing is wrong, like as a country, the solution has to be from the leaders down, not from the bottom up.
Right.
Right. And this is the first I'd ever heard him talk about having like aspirations to be in Air Force Special Operations. So I don't know the specifics of like where it went wrong, but that insight makes his whole attitude seem a little bit kind of like a Bare Biscuits type thing. Like, it didn't work out for me. Like, all of you are, mindless drones and you need to wake up.
Yeah. Or he was the mindless drones guy, or he started out as the mindless drones and they're like, yeah, this is not exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I will say that after our FADEC Navy conversation, I called a buddy of mine who used to be a Super Hornet instructor and went over what Dylan and I had, both said to him, just to bounce it off him. And he gave me a lot of like extra insight into those specific systems on those planes. And I think Dylan would probably be very interested to hear it, but I'm not going to share it with him because he wants me to kill myself.
You hear that, Dylan? You catch more flies with honey. All right, Jason. Thanks, man. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Talk to you later, Dan.
Bye. Fun little experiment. Next week we'll have Abdul and Slav. All right. Speaking of Abdul, who's been waiting patiently, and then we're gonna get to James after Abdul. Abdul, my favorite Somali.
Hi, Ben. How are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I want to talk about that. I want to respond to something that was said last week, and also I do. It's kind of tied into Hasan.
Yeah.
Because I agree with his worldview. Just real quick, one of the later callers last week was saying the guy who kept mispronouncing my name on purpose.
Okay.
I think he was saying I'm like my motivations were like racial.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I feel like he was insinuating maybe that like I hate white people or anything like that.
Yes, I remember that, and I defended you. I said you've never said anything that leads me to believe that you hate white people. You've never said anything.
I gotta be honest with you. That had me really upset because I'm the complete opposite. Like I love everybody. I never. Because that's how they see the world. They think I see the world that way. I don't.
Fair. Fair point.
I don't. And I think maybe it's easier for me because I'm a foreigner originally. Like
me too.
I don't.
Look at us, a couple foreigners.
Black, white, this or that. Like I'm like everybody's. The two camps are like, are you nice or are you not nice? That's generally like that's how I see it. Like if you're a dick and you're Somali, like I'm not gonna like you. You know what I mean? So
yeah, fair. I think I'm pretty similar in that regard.
These people are like, and I think you are too. You guys are like obsessed with racial identity politics. Everything has to be, everything's like a zero-sum game. Like if a black person gets a job, that means down the line a white person somewhere lost it. Like the world is much more complicated than that. I think you agree with me.
The world is more complicated. There are individual circumstances where what you said is false, though, where that does happen, and vice versa. Like there was a long period of time where it was the other way around, where a white person got a job and So a black person couldn't get a job. Like that does happen. Now it's reversed. So now obviously the white people are salty about it because, it's happening to them. I've always been of the opinion that like this eye for an eye stuff is just not the way to adjudicate this personally. But it does happen.
And I think this ties into the ultimate, this ties into Hasan, because I agree with his worldview. I would like to actually, can I tell you what my worldview is?
Let's hear it. I would love to hear this.
So I think the real conspiracy, you want to talk about the real conspiracy is that the powers that be want people like me and Slav and Dylan to fight so that they can rake it in. They want they love the left and right dynamic.
Yep.
Which by the way is really fake, because I think the only color that matters is green, right?
Yep.
So we're busy fighting for scraps, and the billionaires and the trillionaires are making, They're
making even more. I mean, Elon Musk is set to become probably in the next couple of weeks the first trillionaire on Earth. I mean, he deserves it, but.
Seriously, that's really outrageous that someone had that kind of money in a world where people are hungry.
Yeah, the guy's building rocket ships. I mean, he certainly, dude, go fly a fucking United or Alaska Airlines and have that kind of internet speed and tell me that guy doesn't deserve some cash for that.
And it's kind of I don't subscribe to the notion that I think some of them are self-made, but something like Elon, who got hundreds of billions of dollars in government subsidies.
Yeah. But that's the system. That wasn't a system he set up. That was a system that was set up that he just, took advantage of.
And the same thing with the immigration system. That's a system that I walked into. I was brought here. I was not brought here. I was brought here by my parents. Do the people who are objecting why don't they ask themselves, how did Abdul get here? Well,
they ask themselves that every day. They're asking themselves.
You're sponsored by there's an organization called Catholic Charities, and they act like an intermediary between the U.S. government and they're like an NGO. They help to facilitate.
Yeah. That I'm well aware. So you're saying Jews didn't bring you over because that's certain.
No, Christians.
Oh,
literal Christians.
Wow.
And I have the paperwork and everything. I saw it one day. It said Catholic Charities, and the system, the way it's set up, as you know, the policymakers are obsessed with growth. Like, doesn't matter what happens, the economy needs to grow. And like you said, the easiest way to do that is just to import brand new people. They right away when you come, you have fresh credit. You can borrow money.
Yep.
You're pliable. They can put you in any job.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna complain.
Definitely not gonna complain. I mean, I don't know what age did you come here?
I was. I don't want to dox myself.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But you were a kid. You were a kid. Right?
I was a teen. I was a teen.
Oh, okay. But I'm sure you remember what life was like when you lived in Somalia. I'm sure when you got to America, you were like, "This is way better."
And any notion that I'm grateful just gotta goes to like, you don't know me. Why are you assuming that I'm ungrateful?
Good point.
Their whole worldview is like zero-sum game. Like I said, like they think like so the policymakers, the way they're thinking about it is like the whole, and I agree with them to a certain extent. Is like if we bring in Abdul, he's gonna help grow the economy. The pie is gonna get bigger.
Yep.
That's how they're. There you go. When you bring in immigrants to certain areas, they help revitalize economies. They cost money at first. You got to put their kids to school or whatever. I think over time
you got to spend money to make money.
I think over time immigrants pay for themselves. By the way, some of our immigrants, we're already very highly assimilated. I'm the most assimilated Somali that I trust me when I tell you I'm super assimilated.
Yeah.
And
I saw, actually, sorry to cut you off, but just today I found it kind of funny, like talking about assimilation. I saw this old Indian guy walking down the street. I was walking to my train, and it was this older Indian guy. I knew he was Indian because he was wearing sandals, and he obviously looked Indian, and he had a Dallas Cowboys hat on and an America 250th anniversary shirt. And I was just like, see, it's like, this guy's fucking right away. He's just doing all the stuff, you know? It's almost like a poo from that episode of The Simpsons, but...
I do have humility about me. That I know that I walked into someone else's country, and that's why I'm not arrogant about the way I approach my. I don't flounce my ethnicity to people. I don't.
You're not trying to change. I mean? Like, you're not trying to be like, we got to make it like it was back home. You're like, no, this is how it is here. It's better.
I don't. Like, you know what I mean? I do try to. Like, keep my head down. I try to like, I'm not here to like help overthrow the system or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Like I'm part of, like, you know what I mean? Like, the system was already, you know what I mean? Like, I walked into something. So, you know what I'm trying to get to? Like, I'm not being very articulate. So
you're like,
I do want to make a call to all my haters. Like, why can't we unite? Like,
yeah, why can't we all just get along?
No. Let's all unite, all of us non-billionaires against them. That's the solution.
Well,
that's the solution.
I mean, again, that is true, that this whole right versus left thing, when it's really just rich versus poor, and the poor people have way more in common with each other than they do with rich people. And like, to think you're like, oh, I'm white, I'm white and poor, and I have more in common with a white billionaire versus a poor black guy, is you're like, no, you have way more in common with that guy.
Why do you keep voting Republican? Because they keep throwing their red meat. Like, oh, the real enemies are the trans people. The real enemies is Abdul, who has nothing. Trust me when I say I have nothing. Like, I have like, I don't have any wealth. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my call. Is like, hey, you want to help? You want to keep perpetuating the system as it is, or do you want to really solve it? Because we need to unite. They're pitting us against each other.
Mm-hmm. It's well said. I will say, Abdul, that you have a little chip on your shoulder, which a lot of immigrants do, which is actually a good thing. I think I can't prove it, but I'm certain that you give yourself a higher chance of success in life because of it.
I'm also very humble. I know that, like, life is short. I don't think I'm superior to anybody at all. I think death makes us all equal. We at the end of the day, there's nothing that's special about me. There's nothing special about you. We're all just these tiny insignificant creatures on this tiny little rock in a huge universe. By the way, next time I want to call it. I want to talk about space. I want to talk about
do it next week.
The bigger picture. That's how I think. I always think about the bigger, the global, universal picture. That's how all these people, they're focusing on these minutiae, like, you know, like
little,
like racial. Like, no, there's a bigger way. There's a much bigger way to look at the world than your petty local, you know.
Sure.
That's all. I don't want to.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I do understand. It's easier to look at the stuff that you see every day versus, you know. I do get that. That is.
The real world is not Twitter. That's not the real world. Go outside and look. Right, the sun is shining. Generally, people. Look, I mean, life. All these right wingers on Twitter, they think Minneapolis is literally on fire. I'm like, the city's fine. Yeah. I can go outside and I can go buy some stuff and come back. Nothing happens. There's a few areas.
Same with New York.
Dude,
same thing with New York. Everybody thinks you're like, man, that must be the most dangerous place. You're like, no, it's fine. It's totally fine.
It's like, get off online. Go outside. Have some fresh air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, Abdul. I got to let you go, but call in next week. We'll talk about space.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Abdul, everybody. Logan sort of says, still in Save the Bathhouse here and proudly tarded. Shout out to all the dogs and all the dogs and all the regulars. By the way, if you have a Save the Bathhouse here, feel free to cancel it. We tried and we failed. Dylan says, Abdul watches Zeitgeist. Now he thinks he's Chomsky. And shout out to Logan for gifting 5 low value mail memberships. Thank you, Logan. You are the man. Abdul, maybe we'll do Abdul blood sports and we'll match him up with somebody else. Okay, we're going to go to James because I've been making him wait patiently. Oh, phone lines are closed, everybody. Do not call in anymore. Please and thank you. I'll do my best to get to you all. Man, where does the time go? We'll do some extra time just because I feel like we've gone a little long here. Come on, James. James. He had a thing about the Hantavirus, even though that seems over. James. No? James, are you there?
Danny, hey, nice to hear from you again. It's my second time calling in, so you
What's
probably don't
happening?
like me as much as the first time callers.
No, I love all callers equally. I'm magnanimous. What is up, James?
Gotcha. Yeah, I do have to spice this up. 5 seconds though with the previous callers. Dylan scares me, dude. He sounds like the people I'm about to talk about. These people stuff, and I got a few drinks in them, and I got what I wanted out of them. You know, like that kind of stuff. That freaks me out.
Okay. Everybody has a right to their own
But
opinion.
anyway,
I met Dylan in
Yeah.
person.
Well, but on the same side, I'll agree with him a little bit. Like veterans are a little off. You know, I have a good experience. I have family that have been to war and no issues at all. But I went to the local VFW and I was like, hey, I'm an auxiliary member. They're like, yeah, well, we disbanded that a while, so we don't know why you're here. I'm just like, okay, well, I'd like to support you guys. They're like, well, you have no reason to be here. Like,
Really?
okay, well, then where's the next VFW? Yeah, and they pointed me in the other direction. So I was like, all right, well, this is not the one to go to. So, I mean, remember, they're trained to follow orders, do their job, and then they come back and they're just guys talking to other guys.
They're a little
about that
listless.
stuff. Yeah, it's not like anyway, that's not my battle, but I'd say, like, I don't have the best opinion of every single vet, but I'm not about to say, these people, these vets are blowing up kids and stuff. Anyway, that's not why I called. I called because of the, I still can't say it, not the Hantavirus, the Hantavirus or something.
The Hantavirus.
Yeah. So I know the sister of the guy, Jake, really well. I've known her for years, and it would really surprise me if she was involved in anything at all. And I knew about the company she was working for roughly, disaster management, because I was going to go to college for that. And that's how we got to talking about that sort of thing.
Who's
and
Jake?
She has gotten these calls. Jake is that guy, the influencer that was on there saying, I'm scared, I'm on this cruise, this sort of thing.
okay.
He's quarantined.
Jake Rosman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't know him at all. So maybe he's a super genius that's out to get us all. And I don't really have too much of an opinion on it, but the reason I'm calling you about it is because, one, sister's not involved at all. I would bet my life on it. I don't know. And basically, she's gotten these weird calls, and voicemails too, where people will say something like, like screw you and F you and this sort of thing. It's just really weird stuff, and she's just works from home, really nice person. Like,
And she's just getting random calls from people just...
Yeah. Basically them saying, thought I had it here, actually, with some weird stuff. Weird. Yeah, I don't have it on here, but I asked her to send them to me. And most of them are not audible, but they're like weird people grunging around and F you, bitch, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And what did she do just because she's the sister?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and she works for a company that's disaster management. They're like, oh, you see that? Disaster management along with, the virus. It's like, listen, I fully go after the brother if he's championing, making videos about all this stuff, whatever. You can have your opinions about that. And obviously, safety first. Don't try to hurt him or anything like that. But people looping in the families, like, that's just weird. It's just unbelievably weird. It's not like everybody is on the same page and they're super connected and like everybody's, and my job and everything I do is connected to this one.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of COVID conspiracy people who kind of got, like really into that. And then now they see stuff and they're, you know, they're trying to put the pieces to. They're like, there's a web. They're like, what aren't they telling us? And they're, you know, these are almost like fancy themselves investigators.
100%. And so what I'm calling about is like, Danny, how do we mitigate this? How do we deal with those people? Like, because that's the thing. It didn't end like it should have ended with, oh, and she works there. Okay, well, I can't put her in the report. I shouldn't talk about her because there's nothing else. If it was like she works for it and she made a statement saying our company is going to grow exponentially next year, guaranteed. You know, it'd be a shame if another fucking virus hit. You know, like if it was something like that, then I'd be like, okay, now we might want to look into this.
I mean, I think you don't. I think there's, especially post-COVID, like the distrust of like authority, you know, medicine, pharmaceuticals, all that stuff. There's just this new class of people who, I mean, I guess you would have called them conspiracy theorists before, and they're, you know, their antennas are a little higher right now for stuff, and they're just very distrusting people. I don't think you, because I mean, we're going to see at some point, I don't think now, but like there's going to be a lot of people who, you know, get some sort of like cancer or something, and they're going to die because COVID fucked them up so bad that they're like, yeah, I don't trust like medicine, and they're not going to take any sort of treatment, and they're going to die. I don't know. You'll see a lot of that happening.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fix is
that
for.
Too, but that's the thing. Like, to me, I don't want to fix them. I don't want to get rid of them. I want them to like realize when they're wrong, so they can start figuring out the stuff that's right. You know, like that. Is that even worse? Is that even worse to be even?
Remember when they were saying like 2 months ago that Netanyahu was dead? Remember that? They were like, there was that video and with a coffee cup, and they're like, that's
he was
AI.
Like gone for a week or something.
Yeah, and they're like, Netanyahu's obviously dead. And then there was these two guys who were like going at it on Twitter in like a post of mine in the comments, going at it. And this guy's just like, he's for sure dead. And then, you know, someone just one of the guys went back in the comments like a month later and was like, so do you still think he's dead? And the guy was just like, yeah. When he was like, obviously at this point he's not dead. Right. But you're like, those people are just like, they're just like, no, he's still dead. You're just like, you're not going to convince them. It's like flat Earth.
I guess he's still dead now.
It's like, how do you get flat earthers? Like they just, you know, they had the Artemis 2 mission. You're just like, how do you explain all this? And they're like, it's fake.
Yeah, I was thinking that was made up. Like there aren't people that like that existed. But then like a girl I dated years ago said, oh yeah, my ex was like that. I'm just like, then what does that say about me? But anyway, I was also wanted to say like, I've been involved in some viral videos. Yeah. And some like two max. And the comments in there are saying like it's just unbelievable. Like, oh, this is all set up by the whole group, and you know it was just me acting on my own. Mm-hmm. And you know, so many people with like they just take it to the nth degree, and it just blows my mind that that's it. Like, of course I would say this. Like I'm just so sure. You know?
I mean, I've said this before. So if you're a conspiracy theorist, but you think everything's a conspiracy, then you've lost the plot. Like they can't not everything's a conspiracy. Some things are, but once you're just like fully gone and you're like, no, everything is, and everything you see is, you're like, what's the angle here? Then you've kind of lost it.
Danny, you have no answer. I mean, what do we do about this? Like, how
we don't do
how
anything.
Does this get better from this?
You're not doing anything. I mean, I deal with this stuff constantly, and you're like, there's nothing to do. There's just this is just who they are, I guess. I don't know. You can ignore them, or there's nothing to do. I mean, again, it's just like, does someone commenting on your YouTube video like that this is fake when you know it's real? Like, it doesn't affect anything. Yes, they get to vote.
Yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't. There's no real world. Same with flat Earth. You're like, there's no real world implications to this. You're just like, it's a bunch of kooks. I don't know. It's a free country. They can think whatever they want.
Yeah, I saw you live along with Ryan in New York months ago.
Oh, okay.
And you guys did not disappoint. The crowd was not pro any of your jokes, so you guys you made it happen. People still laughed
at the Hard Rock.
I don't quite.
I think it was at the Hard Rock.
May have been.
Were you the guy? Did we meet you after?
Like you go,
were you the guy who worked at the hospital?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know you guys were meeting anybody. So.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I had known, I would have totally came up and said something. But no, I really enjoyed the show, and I was sitting next to this woman that did the I'm not laughing at that kind of thing. I was like, oh shit, we got a mixed crowd here.
It happened. Also, the acoustics in that place were like about as bad as any venue could get. Ever. Maybe
I'm thinking about the wrong one because it was during comedy week.
Yeah, it was at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Okay, it was a Hard
in
Rock.
Midtown.
Okay.
Yeah, the venue was like two
you guys
tiers.
did a great job.
Yeah, the show was good, but it was like in terms of a venue, it was terrible. It was as bad as a venue could ever get for comedy.
Yeah,
it was,
the seating was weird.
I've been at a wedding there. I've gone to a wedding in that exact venue. I go, good venue for a wedding, bad venue for a comedy show. All right, I gotta let you go. Thank you for calling in, though. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to go overtime. No more calls. Oh, God, I'm not going to be able to get to all these calls. There was none at the beginning. Now there's fucking 10 people. Okay, we're going to go to bang out the patrons, and then I'll try and get to as many as I can. I apologize if I can't get to you all, though. We're going to go to this name I've never seen before. Hello?
Hello. This is
Peter. Peter?
Peter from California.
Peter. You are listed as Dieter in the thing. And I go, surely your name's not Dieter, but.
No, I'm not German.
No, not German. What's up, Peter?
So, I'll make it quick. I got to where I was trying to go. Abdul, I would like to talk to at some point.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you've ever read articles by a guy named Kayseh, Kayseh space Magan. He was the guy who kind of first broke the Smalley story. The Smalley guy who worked for the Minnesota Medicaid fraud unit.
Kayseh Magan, author at Minnesota Reformer. He was the one.
Yeah, he was where I first heard
about the Somali fraud. Yeah, because I remember. I think I talked about this here, but like. When the Nick Shirley thing was all happening, and then this video from like local news went viral from like 10 years ago, and they were like, yeah, we're investigating all these things. And then people were like, yeah, too little, too late. And you're like, no, this was 10 years ago. It's just going viral now.
Well, I had wanted to ask him about it for a long time, but hearing that he's interested in space, I would also be curious to talk about it. Then jumping to a different topic, you complained about having Caucasian eye bags, and it's totally natural. People from that region of the world have dark skin under their eyes.
Yes, I can confirm from a dermatologist that's what I have.
Yeah. And last thing, I thought it was funny that Jason picked up on the bubblehead guy from Guam.
And the guy from Guam was actually on the line, and then he hung up, but he was there.
Yeah, well, I don't think he broke anything, and they can't stream Netflix down there, so.
Right.
Okay. That's all I got to say for now.
All right. Interesting. All right. Thanks, Peter. Peter had a little insight there. Maybe he gave away a little too much information. The Spire 2K says, why don't you have guests on? Get Toby Turner. I know Toby from the internet a little bit. That's the thing. I don't think that he would be a good guest on this show specifically. Like, I don't know how many of you people know. He's like an OG YouTuber. But the problem is with someone like Toby Turner, and I like him, this is not a knock against Toby, is if I bring him on as a guest, I would interview him and I would ask him about, I guess, like YouTube. And then I don't think you guys would have calls for him. I don't think anybody, like, I've had guests before where I go, I think this person's interesting. And then two people call in because they're like, yeah, I don't really have questions for this. I don't know what to ask this guy specifically. Obviously, it's a call-in show. So anyways, that is my thoughts on that. No knock on Toby whatsoever, though. Let's go to Jared. I don't know why there's two calls from Jared here. Is he calling in on two different phones? I'm kind of unclear right now, unless there's two different Jareds. Hello.
Hello.
What's happening?
Hey, Danny. It's Lou from Guam.
Oh, okay. This is Lou from Guam. Okay. Gerard had them both listed as Jared for some reason. All right. Sorry, Jared. You're next. What's up, Lou from Guam? Happy Memorial Day. Is that a custom to wish veterans a happy Memorial Day, or is that just... I'm still learning.
I don't think I'm considered a veteran yet. I'm still...
Oh, I guess you're not a veteran. You're active. But do I wish you a happy Memorial Day? No, right?
Well, it's Tuesday here now, so, I mean...
Right. It's not even crazy. It's not even going on anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Yeah.
You celebrate Christmas early. We get the Super Bowl day off.
Right. Yeah, you're like basically in Australia.
Yeah, basically.
So what's up,
I
bud?
didn't know this.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I didn't know this, and I feel like I should have. Their winter is like our summer.
Yeah, it's reverse. It's upside down.
Yeah, I always thought that was a joke. I didn't know it was an actual
No,
thing.
it's because they're below the equator. The seasons are switched.
It makes sense. I just never put those two things together.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I've known people who go there in the summer, and they're like, you better bring a jacket. If you go, like,
yeah. So I called in because I had another idea for saving / resurrecting the bathhouse, but then I heard Slav call, and I love hearing Slav.
Yeah.
I do, and I agree with him 100% on the whole Puerto Rico needs to not be part of the United States.
Okay. And you're Puerto Rican, correct?
Yes. Also,
Okay.
I also hate reggaeton. I hate Bad Bunny. So
I also do hate reggaeton. I would just like to be on record that I do not like reggaeton.
Yeah, no, it's fucking. Yeah, waking up on a Sunday morning and hearing your neighbors just blasting doom 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 just makes you wish you were deaf. I hate it.
Yeah. That is one thing that I don't miss about living in certain parts of New York City is that's your life around there. A lot of Puerto Ricans, and I live in a pretty Asian area. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, I will push back with Slav. Like he's a very uppity, like unga bunga white. Like he's one of those like savage white people, and he comes up and like, oh, look at these fucking browns, and like
he's a bit of a Neanderthal.
He's one of those unga bunga white people. Like who are you?
I love it. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I love Slav though. I love hearing from him, but seriously,
he's a little rough around the edges, is what you're saying.
Hey, some Stroganoff spick coming up talking about, oh, look at you guys are all dead.
I mean, it is funny that he's Captain America, or he fancies himself a bit of a Captain America, and he was born in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I get it. Like, when you come here, you kind of want to just, like, vibe with the American, or at least when you come here, like, as a family and not, like, your entire, like, race decides to hop on to, like, Minnesota or wherever the fuck.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's just there's a humor to it, I suppose. I like Ooga Booga Whites though. I'm gonna use that at some point. Did you make that up? Because that's good. That is fucking.
Yeah, it's one of those things on the submarine where after spending enough time together, you just get bored and come up with new racial slurs.
That one is good. I was thinking that there's not enough good racial slurs, like new ones. All the racial slurs, and probably by design, is they're meant to be like old stock racial slurs, but we don't get good new ones.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing you could always do is combine two. Like this one guy, he hit me with something that fucking fried me. He was talking to his Italian friend. It was a different division, and he hit him with pepperoni spick, and it killed me. It fried me. I was on the floor. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pepperoni spick's not bad.
Oh, all right. So my idea for the bathhouse, or resurrecting the new show, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
It kind of involves Roofstar.
Okay. I'm listening.
Right. So, also like a mild amount of fraud.
Fraud. I don't want to do fraud, but let's hear it.
Not prosecutable fraud, just like Liver King fraud.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right, so here's what you do, right? You get on some tests, right? You just get really built, just get super buff.
Okay.
Just go to Turkey, get some hair implants, get some like a long.
I don't need hair implants.
I know, but I mean get longer, get hair extensions.
I'll get extensions.
Long, beautiful.
Go on some tea. I mean, I'm about that age when it's soon to be testosterone time, anyways. So.
Yeah, it's about that time. It's almost that time for me too. It's the moment I can, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, you just get super yoked, right?
Yeah.
And then just claim to us, even though we already know that this is not the case, but claim that the reason you're able to get so built and like just reverse age 10 years is because you've been drinking your own piss.
Okay. All right.
And then start a beef with Joe Rogan.
I don't want to start a beef with Joe Rogan.
He's not inviting you on his podcast, so make him pay attention to you.
Make him pay attention by saying I'm drinking. Basically, go full liver. You basically want me to do Liver King.
Exactly.
Have you seen Liver King's videos recently, by the way? He's like lost it completely.
When I was watching Revenge of the Sith, I saw like a clip of them bring it up. By the way, you should go back on the show at some point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I'll go back anytime those guys ask me.
Yeah, I saw him edit. But I'm not saying go his route. I'm not saying go insane. I'm just saying just get super yoked, start a beef with Joe Rogan, get some of the fan intake from people who watch Joe Rogan come in. And then once they all start coming in, just boot up another bathhouse. But
and kind of bait and switch them.
Yeah, bait and switch them. He was like,
not a full fraud, just like a light fraud.
Yeah, we know you're not.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'll keep that in mind, Lou. We'll keep it in mind. All right, anything else?
I forgot what the other thing was. So yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, good talking to you, Lou. Lou, everybody. All right, let's go to the actual Jared. Jared.
Hello.
Jared.
Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Day off today, so I had the opportunity to call in, and I wanted to get into something that Abdul has said, being his parents were brought into the country by a Catholic NGO responsible for bringing in foreigners in line with the Food and Hope clergy plan.
I'm going to say you're not buying it.
Well, what I am buying is that the Catholic Church has been Jewish for a very, very long time.
Jared, can I ask you a question? What can't we do?
Dude, Jews are resourceful. They weasel their way into anything and everything. I got an article pulled up.
To say weaseling our way into running the Catholic Church is, I think, doing us a disservice. I think that's doing us a disservice.
It is actually, because you guys are so great at it, and weaseling wouldn't be the appropriate word.
Weaseling is to running the Catholic Church.
I mean, the Catholic Church, the Kingdom of Persia, China. I got all the receipts, and I thought about getting into the Persia thing and the China thing. We briefly spoke about the China thing.
You called in too late for us to have a very long call, unfortunately. But
No, I completely understand. So let's just get into a little bit about the Catholic Church being Jewish. So the Pope wears a hat called a mitre.
It does kind of look like a kippah. It's like a big one.
Well, the mitre actually is the hat that the Watchers wore, the fallen angels. It's shaped kind of like a fish's head or a fish mouth. Okay. And the one that he wears actually has a Star of David or Star of Remphan.
What is this? I see this all the time in my comments, the Star of Remphan. Can you elaborate on that?
So in Acts 7:43 and Amos 5:26, it speaks of the Jews building a tabernacle to Moloch and Remphan, and this being the reason for them being expelled into Babylon, because God was upset with them that they kept worshiping Remphan. Remphan is also known as Chiun, Chiun, or it's also spelled Kiyyun.
Sounds like
scholars agree. Well, actually, funny enough, it's Saturn. So this is why Jews have often been associated with Saturn worship. The black cube is associated with Saturn worship, which is why Jews wear the phylacteries on their forehead and their wrists tied together with the leather banding.
You're talking about the
this
tefillin?
is actually the tefillin, the tefillin, or however it's pronounced. It's a symbol of Saturn. So the black cube has always been associated with Saturn. And funny enough, the Pope wears this hat with a Saturn image on it.
It is.
So
you're talking about like the gold thing he has? I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's a hat, and embroidered on the side of it is the Star of Remphan. And if we get into a hat that some of the
that is odd. I'm not gonna lie. Looking at it right now for the first time, that is odd to me.
Very.
That the Pope has,
and then you have the
Pope
Cardinals.
has double
the
Star
Cardinals,
of David on his hat.
Yeah, then the Cardinals wear the kippah like the Jews. And then if you get into the original formation of the Cardinals, it was 71 cardinals, similar to the Jewish Sanhedrin, being comprised of 71 members. So
yeah, this does look
very much, very similarly. They have the same structure for their high priests, and there's a hat that's found in Catholicism called the Cappello Romano or Saturno, and it's a wide-brimmed, low-crowned clerical hat worn outdoors by the Catholic Church clergy, and its nickname derives from its resemblance to the ring planet of Saturn. So again, we find in the Catholic Church remnants and similarities found in the Jewish faith, the worship of Saturn, and imagery and symbols which would suggest this being the case. I have gotten into the Jesuits and spoke on their origins being Jewish, 5 of the 7 founding members of the Jesuit order being Jewish. There's a book on this called A Synagogue, the Jesuit Order as a Synagogue of Jews, by Robert Alexander Maricus, and he happens to be a Jesuit scholar who also teaches at a yeshiva.
Interesting.
So he not only has the authority to speak on this from the perspective of a Jesuit teacher, but has close relations with the Jewish community. And I watched a video in which he participated in talking about Jewish and the Catholic Church relations, and how at times it was patchy, and at other times it was flourishing. And he gushed over recent times, the last 200 years or so, of how the Catholic Church has been very favorable to the Jewish people. And this is how we get NGOs like the ones that brought in Abdul's family being major proponents of the Coudenhove-Kalergi plan of flooding white Christian countries with Asians and blacks to create a Mongoloid race. And this is why we see these sort of things in, media, who controls the media. And and as you know, if you look up a family, you're going to see a black man with a white woman, and so on and so forth. So just the idea being that
Are
these
we
institutions...
still on that? Are we still?
Well, I was
is
just...
that still what comes up? I feel like a lot of these social media sites are trying to undo a lot of the stuff of the last 5 years. So I looked up family. By the way, I looked up family on Google. First result is an all-white family of 8.
Well, that's a beautiful thing to hear. But
there's
what
a black
I can
family
say,
too, but there's no mixed families. I don't see. Spoke too soon. But it's far down, and it's from a random website. But
I think.
But I know what you're talking about. It used to be that it was like first thing you would look up was. I mean, Google took. Remember how much shit Google took with they came out with their AI, and it was just like show me a family, and it was.
Yeah, and I think that this gets back to this place where we are right now, where Jews have overplayed their hand, and maybe some say it's intentional because their plan is to turn the world against them. Then their Moshiach comes, and it ushers in their age of ruling the world, and they get their 2,800 slaves each. But
I get 2,800 slaves.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Do you want to? If should that happen, just spitballing here. Do you want to be one of them? I'll treat you nice. You could be like the top one. You could be like more of an overseer of the rest of them.
Hear
me out.
Okay, continue, please.
I'm just saying, it's just like it'll be a good deal for you because obviously you're not going to love being a slave, but.
Well, in order to be one of these slaves, I would have to follow the Noahide laws and renounce Jesus Christ. So that wouldn't be possible.
So I get non-Christian slaves?
So all the slaves that you are going to get, 2,800 slaves each Jew. So there's a video by a gentleman named Corey Gill Schuster on YouTube, and he's a Jewish guy who walks around Israel, and he interviews people, and he asks them, so what do you think of Hamas? Or what do you think of the fact that there's talk that the IDF are, shooting babies in the forehead, so on and so forth. And one of the interviews is he's talking to an older gentleman, clearly of the Hasidic community, and he's got some middle-aged individuals with him, and they're speaking of the Talmudic doctrine that states that Jews get 2,800 slaves each. And this one Jew, he's like, they already do everything for us. He's like, they build our homes, they build the cars. He's like, we don't do anything. And he's got this, smug smirk on his face. And they discuss these 2,800 slaves. And the only problem being I couldn't be one of them. I'm going to have to.
Well, here's an even bigger problem. So I just asked AI, what's 16 million times 2,800? That's 44.8 billion. So assuming every Jew got 2,800 slaves, we're still short like 37 billion people.
And that was I think a comment I made one time with you, with this depopulation plan that the Jews have, they're going to come into a bit of a conundrum where they're going to need more people for them to get 2,800 slaves each.
We need way more people. We're not even close because assuming Jews would have to grow, Jews would not, their population would have to not be growing at the same rate as the general population because then you're not making up any ground. It's like the general population would have to be growing at 10 times the rate to even get anywhere near there.
And then if you consider killing the Muslims and killing the Christians, you're killing quite a good number of people.
Well, now that's we just lost half the planet. So it's just mostly going to be Chinese slaves?
Well, that is written in the Coudenhove-Kalergi plan that Asians are the preferred race to replace the whites because they are the most subservient of all the races. So, I mean, they're going to have to breed quite a bit faster. But this is why we see these Indians and these Pakis and these other, Abdul types flooding into these countries because they need these people who are dependent and buy into the system. Like these Somalis in, Minnesota, they're 100% on board with what our government's doing because they benefit greatly for it. So they have no problem going along with everything, as long as it allows these social programs.
That's most immigrants, though, I think. I mean, that's the whole premise of they're importing Democrats is because, when you give people free shit, they vote for the people who give them free shit. But you kind of need to give people starting off free shit, assuming you're bringing them in who don't have money to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd say it's debatable. I think if they can't hack it on their own, they shouldn't be in this country. But again, that gets back to the idea. I am someone who believes in the idea of America. But if you look into the formation of America, the Great Seal of the United States was made in 1782, and above the Great Seal, above the eagle, holding the arrows and the olives, is 13 stars made out into a star of Remphan. And I'm of the belief that the United States was created for Jews.
It's like a slave colony for Jews, basically?
No. It was created for Jews to run amok, because if it was a nation founded on Christianity, mind you, it was founded by Freemasons, Freemasonry being Jewish, and its rites, rituals, and organizations. The Freemasons use the Jewish calendar for dating and using the time of events. It's using the Jewish calendar. So I'm of the belief, if you truly wanted the United States to be a Christian homogenous country, there wouldn't be freedom of religion.
Fair, yeah.
Why would you allow freedom of religion if you wanted a healthy Christian community? You made it open to
kind
Jews,
of a good point.
Muslims, and Satanists.
I mean, that's the First Amendment,
and
it's the first one.
I'm leaning towards the fact that this country was created so that Jews can run amok. Now, the last at least 100 years, some say even longer, we've been a cudgel for the Jew, going around overthrowing any government that doesn't have their Rothschild banking system. And as you know, some of the last remaining countries that don't have a Rothschild banking system, one was Iran, another is Cuba, in North Korea, and prior to the overthrow of Libya, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, they didn't have Rothschild banking systems. So this all goes back to the Jews. It's an every single time situation. I still think you're great, even if you donated that $400 to the ADL.
Hey, I warned people that money. Do you know how many emails I get a day from the fucking ADL right now? It's like literally
you brought it on yourself.
10 a day from the ADL. They want more money. They want to let me know about all the stuff they're up to.
And we've talked about the creation of the ADL and Mary Fagan, right?
We don't have time for this right now, unfortunately. I got to let you go, Jared. Jared, do you want to plug your YouTube channel? Because we had a little chat. I don't know, or maybe you might want to make a new YouTube channel. Actually, I don't know if you want to disclose what your plans are, but I don't want to out you.
Well, all things in due time. I will eventually.
Jared's got some cool shit. Jared's got some cool shit coming up. That's all I can say. And it's not about the Jews. There'll be some stuff about the Jews. We'll sprinkle it in there, but it's not.
No, we're for the sake of monetizing the channel, we're going to leave the Jew stuff out of it.
Correct.
We're going to be building an outdoor channel. I'm moving to Alaska, and we're going to be building compound, hunting, fishing, trapping, living off the land. I'm actually going to be leaving Arizona probably in the next month or so and going up to Washington with my buddy. And we're going to start.
You guys are moving to like a completely like barren. There's nothing around.
Where we're going Correct. There's no paved roads. There's no police. It's going to
You
be a
guys are
beautiful thing.
You're just starting from scratch. Dude, well, I will promote the shit out of your channel once you have it up and running. That is my word.
I appreciate
And
you, sir.
you always have, if you change your mind about being top slave, just consider it.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the offer. For anyone who's interested in hearing more about the Jews, tune in to J Talk with Jared on the Dylan Farnham YouTube channel.
Check it out.
Always
All
a
right.
pleasure, Danny.
Later, Jared. Jared, everybody. Okay, man, we're so behind. I'll take a few more calls. Where does the time go? I talked to Jared after the show in Arizona, though. He's got some cool. He's gonna do like an outdoor boys thing, kind of real pioneer shit. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
No way. Am I on the show with Danny Polishuk?
Yes, you are.
Oh, good deal. Hell yeah, dog.
Hold on. I think
are
you on speakerphone? You sound like shit.
What's up?
Toby, can you hear me now?
Much better.
Sick. Yo, I was sort of AFK for a bit. Did I hear that you're shutting down the bathhouse?
The bathhouse has been shut down.
Dog, no way. Oh, no.
It may return in a different formats at some point down the line, but for the foreseeable future, the bathhouse is no more.
Got it. Yeah. I saw these posts from you, like the last episode. I thought it was a joke, but damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to see it return in some form because we need these call-in shows going.
I agree.
It's the best corner of the call-in world.
I know. It's like I'm like doing like a public service here. Chris, do you want to be one of my slaves once I get my 2,800 slaves?
Okay, dog. So no kidding. That caller like lost me and then totally brought me back when he was talking about these 2,800 slaves. And it got me thinking hella hard. Yo, because that's crazy, right? And it got me entertaining the idea. Like, hold up, real quick. Let's suppose that like, what would it take for assuming there's like an actually effective transnational cartel of elites to secure like actual global martial law, world domination, out in the open, mask off. Like, what would it actually take to get from point A to point B? And I don't think it's
highly
impossible.
contagious. It would have to be some sort of highly contagious virus. I think that would be the way that you could limit
the internet, and they said that.
Yeah, that's what I would think. It would be a highly contagious virus because, you know, similar with COVID, where you're like, if you want people to stay at home, obviously it's one thing when you're like, yeah, I don't know anybody getting sick of this. When you're like, yeah, I know 10 people who died of this highly contagious virus, that's it. Everybody is like, it's a new world until they have a cure for it.
I mean, we saw it.
We saw it. But imagine if it was actually a highly contagious virus that killed people, not a fake one.
Like that movie Contagion, if you've seen that. I was asking Perplexity, and it said the exact thing. Like, you need a problem and solution framework. And the pandemic is like the number one problem.
Yeah. It's, again, if people are like, yeah, I'm literally scared to go outside. My neighbor went outside and is fucking throwing up blood and dead. Then you'd be like, okay, well, that's a done deal there. Not going outside anymore.
But it also suggested like weaponizing the climate chaos or multi-front wars, really just anything to fracture like national governments.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be something that's very scary, fatal, something where just people like organizing, because that's the thing. That's the biggest like risk to any sort of like, you know, totalitarian movement is all the people kind of organize and rise up, and then you're like, there's so many more of them than us. But if those people organizing,
how do you shut that down?
Yeah, deadly contagious virus.
Yeah, I meant like, okay, in this like totally worst case scenario where the Jews like they really are connected and do have the ability.
Did you say worst case or best case? I guess worst case.
This is like the worst case. I mean, when
Sounds like the best
Larry
case for me.
Fink could just take the mask off and arrest everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like would they actually take the gloves off and say, we're actually doing this world domination thing for real? Like,
that's
we
the
have a
thing
gun
is-
to your head?
Yeah, but
Like,
they can't. There's only 16
we're doing
million
it.
Jews. How could 16 million Jews overpower literally 8 billion people? It's not possible.
Right, yeah.
There's just not enough of them. Like if someone was like, oh, the Muslims could take over the world, I could be like, yeah, there's enough of them. They got the bodies. Jews just don't have that's why Jews have to use their cunning. Because they don't have the manpower.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, I think people feel this way about Trump a little bit, where it's like everybody was so invested. It was so excited. It's MAGA 16, MAGA 24, what have you. And then he gets in office and it's like, oh, this shit is cool, I guess. Like gas goes up or down. Things change, but he's never actually arresting Hillary. And in that case, it's sort of underwhelming.
Yeah, that was all kayfabe. That was all. I mean, again, it's for some reason Trump was given some benefit of the doubt where you're like, oh, he's the politician who actually, when he says stuff, he does it. He doesn't lie. And you're like, no, they all kind of say stuff to get elected.
That caller a few calls ago was asking about how racial slurs are dying out.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I heard a iguana rapist for Jeets. There was this article that went hella viral of this Indian guy raping an iguana. Okay. And iguana rapist. That one had my ribs hurting.
That's okay. That's a good one. Four-man.
Yeah. Yo, Danny,
four-man gang raped and killed and ate a protected monitor lizard. In India's
so
gang rape.
What sort of money moves are you involved in? Like, what do you invest in?
What do I invest in? I don't have any, nothing fancy. I do think this sounds crazy to me. I was actually talking to my crypto consultant, JJ Lieberman, today, I actually went through my texts with JJ, and literally every time JJ texts me out of the blue to buy crypto, it always goes down subsequently. But I oddly, and this is not financial advice, I actually think Bitcoin and Ethereum might be good buys only because the sentiment on them, I've never seen the sentiment so negative. Like maybe ever.
Yeah.
Like everybody's just
True.
like, this shit's dead. Like Ethereum's dead. And usually when it gets so negative, that's usually a good sign to buy. It's like a contra indicator, I guess. But I'm going to probably maybe buy a little Ethereum because I think literally the sentiment is just way too bad where it might be a buy. But who knows? I could be totally wrong.
I totally hear you. I mean, it's like the inverse of hearing your girlfriend say, hey, we should buy Bitcoin. Right? I mean, it's precisely
I mean,
the opposite
my
of
wife
that.
literally, I think, wanted to buy Bitcoin when it was 110,000. She goes, we should buy some Bitcoin. I go, it's going down.
Right.
All right, Chris, I got to let you go, man. But thanks for calling.
All right. Hey, wait, hold up.
Yes.
Danny, real quick. Okay, yeah, okay, good deal. All right, take care, Danny.
Chris, everybody. All right, let's go to Frank here. Oh, man, I'm about to piss my pants. Oh, it looks like the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. Congrats to them. Frank!
Hey, thank you. Jeez, I was literally about to hang up. If you didn't get to me right now,
dude, I got so many people.
Don't be.
I got so many people on the line still. I overdid.
It's okay. It's okay. I just wanted to shoot out some stuff about Hasan. Hasan is a chosen winner of Twitch. He's able to make threats and death threats and criminality and shock dogs all the time. And I'm so happy that he's finally getting his comeuppance, just like Destiny did, just like David Pakman did when they found out that he was taking money from Chorus. And what do you call, what's the other one? The other guy, Vosh, when Vosh is completely out of money. And then
I haven't seen Vosh in a long time.
they found animated kitty porn on his computer in one of his streams.
Oof.
Yeah, so these people are disgusting creatures. they all thought that they were going to be Soviet propaganda agents funded by the deep state, funded by the government, but it just didn't happen. And I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad that we're on this timeline, not another timeline, not a Saturnial what do you call it? The Zionist timeline, like one of your callers was talking about before, with the miters and the kippas and the God knows what.
Yeah.
So, but one of them was right though, with the Somalis and the Indians and the Pakistanis. They really just can't function in first world societies without adult life.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, without adult life support, a lot of them are on life support, and it's just bullshit. And if you don't have a sponsor, if you can't work, if you can't fund yourself, that's it, man. You can't do it.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I
that's
agree.
why
You
gotta
definitely can't import people to directly go on social assistance. That's crazy.
Yeah, but no, I'm just happy that this good stuff is coming out. Look, if anybody's blackpilled out there, look at how many politicians are resigning, are going to jail. The Epstein files did come out. All this stuff is happening. The only rough spot we have is in Iran.
Wait,
so,
are you joking about the
you know,
politicians going to jail? Is that like a tongue-in-cheek thing?
No, just check your news feed.
What politicians are going to jail?
I don't have specific names, but like there's a whole. If you just type in politician found out to be or arrested or something like that, it's happening all the time. All the DEI people are being found out.
That was a scam. As far as I understand, though, nobody's getting arrested for Epstein stuff. Not in America.
Oh no. Well, I mean, the thing is that the Prince Andrew has pretty much been thrown out of the royal family.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of CEOs and rich people are completely shunned by society.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, shunned by society, yes. But in terms of, like, if you're going to chalk that up as a win because Prince Andrew's being shunned by his family, like, that's not a win.
Well, I mean, look, I'm just happy that it's out.
Yeah.
Epstein's dead and Maxwell's in jail.
Allegedly.
So there's two right there. And then all those other people that got caught up into it, all shamed and whatnot. But what I'm saying is that there's good stuff happening. There's a lot of positive things that have been happening. I mean, look, the green card thing that just dropped. All the ICE people that they're every single day they're arresting and deporting child predators and human traffickers and murderers. And rapists. So just don't be not you. I'm not speaking to you directly, Dan. I'm just speaking to people in general. Like, there is good news out there. I mean, this is the first time in the last 30 years that our FBI is not actively trying to put us in jail for talking about this.
Sure.
Like, you and I would literally have a bug on our phone after this conversation because all the money was going to policing the population that was awake. And now, instead of them trying to honeypot people and entrap them, U.S. citizens, they're actually going after the drug cartels and the human traffickers and all that stuff. I mean, just look at the bombs falling from the air, blowing up the drug boats.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another win right there.
You know what?
We're winning so much.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of enthusiastic MAGA people like you. A lot of people are all just like, oh.
Well, I'm not even a MAGA person. I'm a Democrat. I mean, I'm for working class people. But I'm make America great again. If you and Ryan didn't have to flee and come here to Canada, I mean, you guys are like asylum seekers here. You guys are actually real asylum seekers.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that you would be doing the same thing as if Trump was in Canada. You guys would probably vote for Trump, and I don't think you guys are right wingers.
No, he would do numbers in Canada if they had, that's the Conservative Party. They keep trying to figure out a way. How do we make our own Trump? They're never successful. And
then look, and I'll say this, and I'll let you go because I have to go on the Joker effect right now. Oh, can I shout out my Rumble channel? Is that okay?
Absolutely, you can.
All right, it's High T Central, and I'm going to be on the Joker effect at right when I hang up the phone. Danny, you have a good night. Thank you for taking my call.
Go check him out.
All right, bye.
Frank, everybody. All right. 4 more calls. Going to try not to piss myself. I'm going to do my best. Shout out to everybody watching over on Rumble. I think maybe we got something going over on Rumble right now. Hello. You're on
Hello?
You're on Low Value Mail.
Hello?
Who am I speaking with? Hello? You're on Low Value Mail.
Hey, what's going on?
What's happening? Oh, yeah, we got 500
Can you hear
people
me?
watching on Rumble. Yeah, what's up? Shout out to all the Rumbles. The
Oh, cool.
Rumblers.
Hey, hi, Rumble. No, you threw off my rhythm super hard, Danny.
Sorry.
My name's Jared, and then it was like you picked
You're
up from
also
Jared,
Jared?
and then you're like, no,
Oh,
yeah, I'm also Jared.
Okay, so I think that was
So two
Gerard.
times in a
Yeah, that was Gerard got mixed up because he labeled somebody as Jared who wasn't Jared. Then Jared was Jared, and now we have so he must have meant to label you as Jared.
Yeah, 2 times I was like, hey, what's going on? Into like the void of space. So that was cool.
Apologies.
Well, in time, I'll learn to forgive. Nothing much. I was originally calling about the Iran stuff because you were having that debate going on.
Yeah.
And then, it was like the conversation kind of shifted to Jews.
It's a
so
real pastiche over here. We really cover a lot of
Yeah, it's a real hodgepodge.
Yeah.
But no, if the Iran thing is still on the table, I was just
go
saying
ahead.
that one guy, he was like, it just seemed like he kind of had like an unrealistic view of what the military was. And I'm going to do my best to try to summarize my point because I kind of forgot some of the conversation and the weight.
Have you been in the military or are you in the military?
Yeah. I'm a vet. I was in the Navy.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like, cause he for one seemed to think that there's like this high surplus of like psychopaths who like just love killing people. And like, that's not really how it, there's a couple of them. Like you see some guys like that, but that's pretty rare.
Sure.
And then like most of the people like in the military who's going to be like running and gunning are like their kids like right out of high school who like had average grades.
Yeah. And they're just like,
so
I don't know what to do with a lot of like, I don't know what to do with my life. So I'll just go to the military.
Yeah, that's like most of them. So like I just think that his opinion is just based on like a very like odd perspective of what like the military like personnel are like. So I don't know. That was like really my 2 cents on that. But like with Iran in general, I was just gonna say like I don't understand. Like people seem to be really up in arms with the president right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say you could attest to that. And I'm like, I don't really understand because, like, you know, he said like 6 weeks. So I was
said 4 weeks originally. It was 4 weeks. Now we're at what are we at? We're at 3 months almost now. Is that right? Yeah.
Well, okay. I think you don't understand like the timeline. So like, let me fix this for everybody.
Sure.
Okay, so when he said when he was campaigning on day one, he was going to end the Ukraine-Russia thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, day one hasn't got here yet. It's 6 weeks from then.
6 weeks from then. Okay.
Yes, day one has not yet gotten here. Well, it's not day one yet.
Right. And day one is when?
Huh?
When is day one?
When I don't know. I was trying to make a joke and it did not land. I'm telling you, I had a rhythm coming in here, and then that Jared thing threw me off hard.
Sorry, you can call in another week.
It's cool.
We'll get your mojo back.
All right. Hey, before I go, I just wanted to ask: has this show been on hiatus or something?
No.
Because it hasn't shown up in my algorithm.
No, it's just YouTube hates me.
Oh,
I did miss a
okay.
couple.
All
I did
right.
miss a couple of weeks because I was on the road. This month I missed a couple of weeks actually, so maybe it's because of that. But I think it's mostly just YouTube hates me.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, hey, you have yourself a good night. All right. Sorry, the joke was bad.
All good. We'll have time to do that at another time. We'll give you another shot.
All right.
I'll make up for it. All right, later.
Later, Jared. All right, 3 more calls. If you're on the line, hang in there. If you're not on the line, do not call in. 500 people watching on Rumble. Look at that. What's up, people? I didn't realize. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail.
Hey, so I know you've mentioned how you want to make comedy movies. I was going to ask with the success of and with the success of Obsession and Backrooms next week of these like younger YouTube guys with an internet following. Does that give you hope for making theatrical movies, or do you think that's just done?
We'll see how they do, because the Backroom is a horror, as far as I understand, or like in that.
Yeah, and Obsession is too.
Yeah, in that genre. I mean, my friend shot. What is that movie called? What's the podcast horror movie?
I haven't heard of that one.
It's Undertone. It's an A24
Oh
movie.
yeah, I've heard of that one.
So my friend was the DP on that movie. They shot it in Toronto. They made it for like $500,000 and sold it for like $5 million. Those are very few and far between. I mean, they're still like, I don't know how Busboys did.
I don't think that did great.
Yeah, I don't.
And I haven't had a girlfriend the past 3 years. I know a lot about movie box office.
Yeah, I don't think Busboys did particularly great. It's the problem is like horror movies do great. Comedy movies still do not do particularly well.
Yeah.
So
that work in roofing, and like they all want like comedies, but it just seems like everyone just watches like shows. Like I have a theory that everyone just gets all their humor from TikTok and they don't want to sit through a movie anymore when you can just.
Honestly, that might be it. Shows probably have a better chance of doing well, but Busboys, I don't know if we can find. Yeah, I can't find. I don't think it did particularly great, and that was self-finance. It's grossed 2.65 million globally, and with a $3 million budget. So, I mean, honestly, the break even for comedy movies isn't terrible, but you're not really like getting people
because like that
excited
just
to
survived off DVD sales.
Well, it would have in the past, but that doesn't exist anymore. So, like. Yeah, like you're not getting producers to be like excited about financing a comedy movie when good ones are breaking even or slightly worse.
Because like, could you ever think like you and Ryan would just make it like $1 million to make a movie, or is it just everything is so expensive?
No, we could make a movie for $1 million. We could make a movie for less than $1 million. It's more the distribution. It's like, how do you? Because the thing is like, yeah, we could put it on YouTube and lots of people will watch it, but then it'll lose a fortune. So it's like, how do you get people to actually, like, how do you get them to make money? It's still a business. It's show business, right? It's like, how do you actually make money on comedy movies? And to be honest, like, unless Netflix is just like, here's fucking $10 million, there's not a real clear path for it any longer, unfortunately. I say that with, it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is.
Yeah,
TV shows do better. There's lots of TV shows that are very popular, but movies specifically, comedy movies, I don't know. I mean, Naked Gun.
You ever think you'd use like AI to make a movie or help out with like production, or
no? Maybe for some special effects, but nothing like that. All right, sorry, I gotta let you go. I gotta wrap this up in 5 minutes.
All right. Oh wait, actually, one more thing.
Yes.
So I'm the guy whose dad got his dick cut off. I saw you made that a clip.
Yeah.
I saw you made that a clip, and like I don't care about it, but like how was the reaction to it?
I don't remember. I think it was okay. It didn't go like super viral.
I remember. I called in. I'm like, I hate how guys are incels. My dad got his dick cut off. I'm like, that is not going to be the right play for me.
Yeah, I do. Any lady luck since then?
I got a really shitty blowjob from a coworker's sister who's currently in jail.
Okay, so yes.
That's my life.
All right.
Yeah, I guess so.
What'd she go to jail for?
Yeah. No, he didn't show up for work, and he has a history. I'm in roofing.
Wait, the guy's in jail.
The guy like set me up with his sister. He was like weird and annoying that night. I asked for a hand job. She gave me a shitty blow job, and then she was like, pick up my friend. It was her ex-boyfriend, and then like she was like making him jealous. She's like, I cut myself, and I was like,
oh my god.
Okay, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Back to the drawing pad. All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Thank you.
All right, 2 more calls. Yeah, I don't think that clip did that great. It should have done better. Guy got his fucking dick chopped off. I think that would be Instagram would like that, but no. I think it did okay. I don't remember exactly. All right, we're going to go. We got 2 more calls. I'm about to fucking piss my pants. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you're
How
on
are
Low
you
Valley Mail. I'm very well. Who am I speaking with?
This is Scott from New Mexico.
Scott from New Mexico. How are things?
Hey, good. Everything's good. You know, just, every day just doing it. I wanted to bring up a topic you may know something about,
go ahead.
just as far as the data centers.
Okay.
And how much water they use and how much electricity they use, and we're kind of screwed on both right now. So, how do you think that's going to go?
I mean, I've heard that data centers don't even use as much water as golf courses. And that's what I've heard, is that golf courses still use more. Now, there's more golf courses than there are data centers. Like an individual data center definitely uses more water than a golf course. I really don't know. From what I understand with the data centers, like a lot of these companies that are building them are looking at building mini nuclear reactors, like Meta and I think Amazon. I don't think Google, but I think Meta and Amazon are literally talking about building mini nuclear reactors to power these things. I don't know if that'll happen or what. I know that there's like a few companies, like publicly traded companies, that went like bananas because people are like, they're going to be building these mini nuclear reactors. I assume they're going to figure it out. I know no like kind of municipalities are taking data centers anymore if the trade-off is like everybody's electricity bills go up. I know that's over. So I don't know. This isn't totally my wheelhouse, but I assume these tech guys seem to figure everything out eventually. My guess is they'll figure this one out as well.
I got you. Yeah, and I've heard something about modular nuclear, as far as one unit, maybe a house size.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. They're going to build these just tiny nuclear reactors that'll just power just their data centers, and we'll see. And I hear also that they use like sodium nowadays. They have a way of using sodium that's safer. I know our subs, nuclear subs, how many years have we been running them? I mean, many, many years. And maybe they were a little dicey at first, but I heard they're very stable now. Yeah. So and I mean, that being said, if we could have a house-sized unit that runs 10,000 houses, why couldn't we have like a trash can-sized unit in the house and run them in our homes? Nuclear is such sodium. As Donald Trump says, nuclear is the N-word. It's a dirty word. That's Donald Trump's N-word is nuclear. It's just people are scared of it. People just you tell a town, you go, you're getting a nuclear reactor. They're like, we don't want that. I know outside of I think Toronto, this Peterborough, Ontario, where I'm from, like Toronto area, but they have the Darlington nuclear facility, and I think they're building another one. And they seem to work well. I don't know. In the U.S., they just don't like them here. I guess it's a sentiment issue. It's just the public doesn't. Nobody wants a nuclear power plant anywhere near where they live.
I know. I think education might be good in this regard. I mean, if they're running them, in the subs, and they seem to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, and, I mean, people are still like thinking about 3 Mile Island, like and that was what 79.
Oh yeah, but again, they're using different materials and different technology.
I know, but I think it's just like a hard sell. I think it's a hard sell.
No, I got you. It would be nice if they came around. I know Enron, I think, is the one that tried it back in the day to have it more of a. Was it Enron? Someone was telling me Enron was doing something in regards. No, I know that was a total scam. But I mean, it's just the concept of having us use something like that. This is from a set. I might have been misinformed. Someone was telling me at work about Enron was the one that was doing that.
It's possible.
But as far as having it, at least in a community, and then maybe eventually in a household, with again the sodium type.
Well, it seems like for your household, they'll figure out solar where solar can kind of power your household before you need a mini nuclear
Yeah.
reactor.
Now, doesn't solar making that material kind of, don't they tear down? I know we're probably running tight here, but doesn't that like tear down the landscape and add all kinds of nasty stuff like in the condo?
I don't know
in
enough
China
about
and stuff like that.
I know you can, people.
Is that really green?
Yeah, that I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Okay.
it. Take care. All right. Final call of the night. Man, we did a whole extra hour. I was just having too much fun. Thank you for joining me. Hello. Final call of the night. Who am I speaking with?
What's up? Spencer from North Carolina.
Spencer from North Carolina. What's up, man?
So, hey, I actually have a real example of Slav in all of his eloquence, what he was talking about with like black police departments and shit in the South.
Yeah.
I do have an actual verifiable example.
Let's hear
of like some of the comical level of corruption that happens. So, Wake County Sheriff's Department. Wake County is like probably second largest county in North Carolina.
Okay.
This guy named Gerald Baker, black guy, he won back in 2020. He just recently left, like whatever the last election cycle was, he was taken out. But this dude, so he has a suspended license. So the first thing he does is he promotes one of his buddies to lieutenant and just makes him his personal chauffeur. The only job of this guy is to drive the sheriff around because he actually doesn't have a license.
Crazy.
Then he purges, I don't remember the exact structure, but basically he fires all of the white deputies that were in leadership and replaces them with black deputies.
Okay.
From whatever rank within. And it was so blatant and so obvious that the white deputies sued and actually won a racial discrimination case where a black sheriff discriminated against white guys. I can't remember the exact payout, but I'm
looking at it right now. It says I don't know if this is the specific thing, but it says retaliation lawsuits in August 2024. A jury recommended $1 million in damages for 2 former deputies who claimed Baker fired them after they reported a high-ranking officer's homophobic and racist remarks. I don't see the.
Okay, that was a separate thing too. So that
was okay.
So yeah, that was still Baker, but yeah, that was another retaliatory incident where that deputy, I can't remember exactly what led to that, but he basically told Baker, I'm going to run against you in the next election. So Baker fired him and his son that were in the department.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, Baker was comic book levels, just
incompetent,
just shitbag.
Yeah.
And then a lot of deputies just left, mass exodus from the department. They were running bare bones. There was some guys I talked to that said, Wake County has a couple million people there, and there were some nights where there was one deputy running for the entire county. Which was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, this says here. This says mostly racially. It says a black officer says, if white people keep killing themselves, we black people will be the majority instead of the minority. That's kind of a weird thing to say. And then he also said several homophobic and discriminatory statements about homosexual persons. Among them were that he didn't believe in being gay, and then identified one of the present deputies as being gay. Yeah, I don't know. Guy seems like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So just what he was saying, there is truth to it.
I mean, look, I don't discount that there's police corruption. He's just saying that it's specifically higher among black and Latino police officers. I I mean, I'd have to see evidence for that. I don't know. I'm not taking Slav.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that it's higher, but like it sometimes is more like in the open, and then it's like people don't really know what to do with it when it does happen because of the
right.
all that other
they're
shit
like kind of walking on eggshells a little bit, where they're like, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I gotta go. I'm about to piss my pants.
Okay.
Do you have anything else? If you have something else, you can go. I'll hold it.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you had heard of Tate Adamak. Have you heard of this case?
No. Tate Adamak.
Okay, so he's a young dude. He was active duty Navy. I don't want you to piss yourself. I can give you. I'll
hold it. I'm an adult. I'm an adult.
Okay.
Serving 20 years in federal prison for allegedly owning and selling illegal firearms.
Yes. Okay, that's him. Okay, but dude, so this case is the most, like, one of the most, this is like Ruby Ridge level of like just fucking this guy for no reason. So he was running like a little surplus operation. Like he was selling like uniforms and like parts and like random bullshit. Like he was never actually selling any firearms. He had a guy come into he had like a small shop, like either out of his garage or he had like a small space he was leasing. One of the guys that came in was obviously, unbeknownst to Tate, was he was an ATF informant or FBI informant.
Okay.
And he was trying to get out of whatever he had been sentenced for. So Tate had a display, like a completely inert, like does not work. It didn't have a functioning anything in it. M249 machine gun, like just like up on a counter, like just like a neat little thing. Right. So this informant calls ATF and is like, this dude has he has a machine gun. It's not registered, blah, blah, blah. They do their whole deal. They kick in his door. They arrest him. They seize all his shit. He ends up getting charged with possession of a machine gun, possession of a destructive device, like gets charged with selling all this crazy shit. In his initial court appearance, as evidence, the ATF took a replica toy Sten submachine gun. They cut it apart, rebuilt it, put in their own actual full auto bolt.
What?
Was able to force it to fire one round, and therefore claimed that he was in possession of a machine gun. He had a demilled RPG that they took and re-welded and re-reamed and everything and got it to fire a single training round with a blank, and they claimed that he possessed a destructive device. Like, dude, the case is fucking crazy.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at a Substack right now about it.
No, it is criminal. I've given money to this.
20 years in prison for this.
Yeah, no, he has done like literally what he is doing, and he possesses fucking millions of people in this country have. It's just parts. It's just fucking like dude, they're not even firearms. Like,
that's crazy, man. The length that and why they just wanted to get a conviction so badly.
I think it was in New Jersey, which obviously is infamous for, but yeah, I think it was a matter of like, when they commit a certain amount of resources, they say, fuck it. Like, we're sending it no matter what.
Sunk cost kind of deal. That's
yeah, no, dude, this kid does not deserve anything he's going through. And like his family has been like out in the front. Like, honestly, I'm hoping he can get the right people out there to get Trump to get him a pardon, because it's not impossible. Trump has pardoned some firearm offenses that are like far worse than, like, if you want to talk about it from like an actual conviction perspective.
I mean, he's pardoned people who are like for sure criminals and guilty, and there were just people who were like able to get $1 million to his campaign, and he just, that's crazy. I'm gonna read more about this.
Yeah, no,
a little later.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to try. Like, I thought getting on here could help. Just people hadn't heard about it.
I mean, go
like,
look. Yeah, look him up. His name is Patrick Tate Adamiak. Adamiak. If you guys want to look into this seems pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, he doesn't deserve it. Like, the whole Palmetto State Armory is actually putting up some money in an amicus brief on his behalf, which is wild to see, like, large firearm companies coming to defense of this random guy.
Yeah, I think it was Virginia,
like,
not New Jersey.
Yeah, basically what this case shows is, like, you can not even have firearms, and they will turn them into guns
firearms just to convict you,
and then charge you for possessing something that they used a professional firearms laboratory to just fabricate evidence and then use it in court.
I mean, this just shows when the government wants to get you, they get you. They don't. You don't need to have done anything.
It's so
they'll figure it out.
It's egregious, and if anybody, not even if you're like, you don't even have to own firearms. This case should fucking terrify you.
Yeah, this is just like injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. Yeah, go check that out. Nick Mullen says, Danny, there's a hilarious story developing right now that deals with a $200,000 Lego theft, corrupt police, and Mormon mafia. Look into it. I'll check that out. Dylan says the answer of what you can't do is go to heaven. Disagree. Dylan also said Catholics made the international banking system. Was it Catholics or was it the Jews? The mustache says, watch Danny's film, which involves Rob Ford. It's called Filth City. Check it out. It's around 300-1416 says, thanks for the XL episode. It was a double XL. And Brian NEK says, thanks you for the extra long episode. Who do you predict to win NHL and NBA? NBA, I'm going to go with, it's so hard. It's not going to be the Knicks. Even though I would like the Knicks to win. A lot of my friends are the Knicks fans, even though I personally don't like the Knicks. The Knicks are about to go to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. Wow. Long time for the Knicks. I'm going to go with San Antonio. And for the NHL, I'm going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights. Mitch Marner is just going to rub it in the face of every Toronto Maple Leafs fan. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're lucky. All right. That's been the show. Thank you very much for everybody for joining me. Shout out to everybody on Rumble. We have almost 500 people watching on Rumble. Shout out to Rumble for throwing me up on the front page. That was awful nice to them. Support the show, patreon.com/low-value-mail, MAIL. You get ad-free episodes. You get our crazy group chat that we have kicking around. And make sure to get tickets to see me live. Shout out to Gerard on the ones and twos. That's it. That's all I got. I'll catch you guys next week. Good night.
On my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurting. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5 got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenal. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me up some KO type.